What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian.
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
Blue Note Fan Report. Aloha and mahalo. Welcome to a game day edition of the Blue Note Fan Report. I am Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I am one of your hosts on the show that tells you like it is and lets you know what's happening live as it is happening. That's right. Interesting things going on today. I want to say I'm shocked, but I'm really not. Can you believe this? Right? We saw Robert Thomas, who's out of today's game, get taken down with a match penalty and then no discipline, right? So I shake my head. I don't get it because this wasn't a hockey play. There's no way, right? It mind-boggling. It shows that the dope are dopes. The Department of Player Safety, the DOP, are dopes. And it just goes to show. How do you not? How do you let that go and say, okay, he got nothing, right? Right, and now Thomas is out. I said they had time to F it up. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. Now, Thomas is out. Dvorsky's going to step up. Dvorsky, Holloway, and Snugard. What a line, man. What a line. Those are all first-round picks, I think. I don't know about Holloway. Holloway may be a second, but they're all first- or second-round picks. Right? It should be a solid line. No, Ryan, I don't care if you don't like how I pronounce it. I really don't anymore. All right? I struggle pronouncing names. It's going to be that way if you don't like it. Oh, well. I mean, I don't know what else to say anymore. Right? I do the best I can. Right? And here's the thing. You guys complain about how I say these guys' names, and I hear it said this way. Well, I say it all the time off the announcers. So I never know who is right. You know? I said all along, intent to injure, the player should be split. I agree, but again, they're going to come back and say, no harm, no foul. But there was harm. Who's starting tonight? I think it's Hoffer, right? Is Hoffer in the net tonight? I haven't heard. I did not see I didn't see a starting lineup yet or anything. I know I'm a jackass. You're welcome. Right? If I wasn't a jackass, who would be? I honestly don't know who's starting. Oh, it looks like Hoffer. Okay. Yep, he's warming up in the starter spot. Sounds good. I didn't get my little here we go. Here's the warm up. Yep, Hoffer, Boberg and Maylou, Lindstein and Pareko. That's been a good duo. Fowler and Kessel. Fowler's played really well in that third position. Third line or third pairing. Dvorsky with Newgard and Holloway. Bushnevich with Kyrou and Neighbors. Suter with Stenberg and Bergeron. And then the WTF line. Finley with Walker and Torpashenko. Walker draws back in. He's starting tonight. I looked up Jackass and a picture of you. Picture of us came up. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that, Ryan. I absolutely could see that. Hoffer coming in with the shutout. Can he continue it? I don't think he's had two in a row. The Cardinals home opener today. Apparently that was pretty interesting. I didn't get to see. I'm not paying $150 for the season because I don't watch enough baseball to pay that much. And it kind of gets me, and it's not just paying that much. That's on top of the $20 a month I'm already paying for ESPN. Right? I mean, that's kind of crazy, though. Well, please give me a shout out. Well, Cluzellian, hello. Here's a shout out for you. Don't know who you are, but I'll give you a shout out anyways. Craysan, hi, how are you? Welcome. I'll be honest. If you're using YouTube and you do not have a picture of yourself, I'm very, very cautious about putting names up because I've been trolled so much. Down 7-1 in the sixth and won 9-7. Yeah. Good win, I guess. Part of the DirecTV. I have DirecTV, but I don't know if it's part of the package because I think you have a local package. Because for me, I think I would get the Giants games. I would get the Dodgers games or the Angels games. Right? That I wouldn't get that. So I don't know, man. I think I dropped DirecTV anyways. I don't watch it enough. I mean, I have cable TV. I mean, the only reason I got DirecTV is A, they told me it was free, which it wasn't. And B, what was the other thing I was going to say? And then B, they told me I could get Fox Sports Midwest, which I couldn't. So, yeah. Is what it is. Sunday ticket, maybe. I don't get that either. I don't pay attention to football. So, yeah, I kind of figured sooner or later those illegal streams are going to get caught, Jason. You seem to like them, but a lot of times they're nothing but they're nothing but what do you call it? Viruses. They give you viruses. So I just it wasn't worth it to me to watch that stuff. I'd rather just have what I got and go for it. Right? I'm looking forward to today's game. I want to see. So the next three games are against teams that are just ahead of us in the standings. And while the standings don't in Toronto, it doesn't really matter. However, it's the draft. You know, they're teams that we have a better draft position than them. If we lose, we stay in a better draft position. If we win, we might lose that draft position. The fifth spot for me, I think, is a good spot. I get you, Kelsey. She says she's cheating on her editing. The money line has the Blues at -137. Holloway with a point. $10 when you see, to me, that doesn't make it worth. It's not worth it. $10 to win 37, and all three have to be right to win the 37, and you lose the 10. I mean, your odds there are less than less than the odds are like 3-1, right? All three things have to happen, and so you're going to lose your $10. You're going to lose your $10 in my eyes. I don't know. I don't get betting. I just don't. Because that stuff. Honestly, that stuff's all set for you to lose. It's made for you to lose, right? And in actuality, a good bookie wants to break even, right? Because it's not breaking even. It's the vig that he takes off the top. It's that 10% that he grabs off the bet. That's where he makes his money. Sports betting is not legal in Hawaii. Right? So I'm not into it at all. At all. Let's see. Let's go over some of the lines here. Are some what we got going on. The Sharks come in. Team game number 70. One game less than the Blues. They have played 69 games, 32, 60, 31, and 6 for 70 points. The Blues are coming in with playing 70 games, team game 71. They are 29, 30, and 11 for 69 points. At home, the Blues are 16, 12, and 7. On the road, the Sharks are 15, 19, and 1. Hofer is playing in his 39th game. He is 18, 11, and 5 with a 257 and a 910. And I got to tell you right now, he's playing much, much better than those numbers. He also has 6 shutouts. Is that right? Yeah, 6 shutouts, which is the most since Jake Allen, right? I'm not sure who is starting for I'm not sure who is starting for looks like I'm by myself today for the most part. Okay. Sounds good. Oscroft. Man, I remember when he got drafted, everyone thought he was going to be, I thought he was going to be the next best thing. 40 games played. He is 19, 17, and 3 with a 3.56 and an 8.86. And Najekovac, I can't say his name, is played 33 games. He is 13, 13, and 3 with a 3.0 and an 8.94. Now I'm listening while I work. No Buckingham from Buckingham Pest Control. They don't kill penalties, but they kill pests. And you've got their number. They've got your disease. They will make you pet free. Give Noel Buckingham a call at Buckingham Pest Control. Their world headquarters is in, and I think this is right, St. Peters, Missouri. Noel, let me know if I got it wrong. And if he puts his number up, I'll tell you his number because I don't remember it off the top of my head. I used to know it. How you doing, Noel? I'm doing good, man. Miss you, buddy. Miss you. When I get home, we got to go to a game together, man. We got to hang out together. Noel is a good man. He's one of the first guys that's ever supported this show, and we greatly appreciate Noel for everything he does for the Blue Note Fan Report and killing pests with Buckingham Pest Control. $20, man. $20 sponsorship for every time I say that. Give Noel a call. Literally on the dividing line between St. Peters and St. Charles. Give him a call at 636-274-7400 and tell him the Blue Note Fan Report sent you. He'll take care of you. And you call me a jackass. Oh my goodness. I love them showing the Blues are out of the wild card, man. I mean, Predators are 77 points. We're 8 points back. 8 points. It's not happening. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 teams ahead of us. Not happening. 12 games left. Not happening. right? Put it on repeat on tour soundboard and play it the whole intermission. Yeah, I'll have to record that one of these times. How the hell do I send a star? They need to send a star. They need to lose some games to get a better draft pick. They're pissing. Well, see, Noel, I disagree with that. I'm not in that's the tank mentality, and I am not in the tank mentality. I want them to play the best game. If they lose, they lose. If they win, they win. How good of a draft pick you go back and you look. The Blues, when it comes to picking really high, don't have a great track record. Do not have a great track record, right? Where they get the best draft picks is in the middle, 19 to 24, 19 to 28. That muddled middle. They get better draft picks in that area than anybody else. So I am all on them winning games, because I think they do better. And I will agree with that. They shouldn't have been losing like they did at the beginning of the season. I'll agree with you there with. Macklin Celebrini says otherwise. Okay, but he's one of, look at his draft. Last year, he's the only guy from his draft that's playing, if I remember right. I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that I think he's the only guy from that draft that's playing. I could be wrong. There might be one or two more, but I'm trying to see if I can pull up the draft results now. See if I can pull up the draft results. Sometimes it's easy for me to find it. Sometimes it's not. Wyatt Johnson's a stud too. Thank you there, Richard. So right, you look at, we had the number one overall pick. We got Johnson. Was Johnson a superstar? Was he a Hall of Famer? No, he was serviceable. He wasn't even like, if that draft, I saw a thing where NHL redrafted that. Johnson would have fallen all the way down to 16. At 16, he would have been worth it. Right? We picked a guy at number one that we should have gotten at 16. Now, hindsight 2020, and I get it, but there's just sometimes you gotta pay attention to, just look at how things are. So from last year's draft, Celebrini was 2 years ago, right? Last year's draft, only 3 guys in the first round have played, and that's it. More played significant time, right? Fondell got his first game. The Predators, Martin has played 3 games. Misa's got 32 games with the Sharks. Schaefer's got 72 games with the Islanders, probably going to be the Kendall at 11. He's got 68 games with the Penguins. And Coates with the Vancouver has 3 games. Right now, the Blues pick, which was 19, will probably be up next year. Carbonell, right? And let me go back. Let's go back to Celebrini's draft. In Celebrini's draft, okay, there's some guys in the top 10 that have gotten some time. Celebrini, 139 games. Levshunov, 84 games with the Blackhawks, I think. Sendeki, 71 games with the Ducks. Demidov with the Canadians, 72 games. Catton, 54 games with the Kraken. Perek, and I'm probably killing that, 27 games with the Flames. And that's the top 10. 11 with the Sharks. Dixon, 59 games. The Wilds, Bloom, 64 games. And then for the Flames, you have Gridden's got 27 games. A couple second rounders have gotten some games, and that's about it. Yeah, I even take that back. We got a fifth rounder that's gotten 5 games for the Oilers, Clattenburg, but I don't think he's gotten much more than that. So, and then one seventh rounder for the Avalanche has gotten 10 games with no points. So I don't know. Yes, the Cardinals are done. They won 7-1. I think you guys selected Carson Karls in the first round. If you guys don't get a top 3 pick, I don't know enough about the draft, Richard, to say either way. Right? I really don't. But I what I think's going to happen, really, is I think the Blues have their eyes set on one player. That is a top 3 player, and that they're going to make a trade using either 1 or 2 of their first round picks and the player. Right? I think if they use 2 of their first round picks, they don't use the player. I think if they use the player, they use the first round pick. Last I heard that, well, I was told they won 9-7, so maybe I was wrong. So maybe they are still going. I don't know. I don't have ESPN up to tell you. Right? Oh, have you seen Jake Neighbors' thing that he did for the Blues? It is so cool. Oh, I love Walker, man. Oh, excuse me. Major League Baseball. Cardinals won 9-7. Right? And that is a final. That means they will not play tomorrow. They always do that. 9-7 for the Cardinals. The ASL thing, yeah, the American Sign Language. That was so cool. Right? They're going to do a game with an American Sign Language simulcast in April. Jake Neighbors had a friend who was either his friend or his mom was deaf. So Jake has learned and knows American Sign Language. He had a hat that had the sign language, the Blues in sign language on the side of the hat, and I didn't order it quick enough. I'm so mad at myself for that. That's one of them hats I wish I would have gotten, and I'm going to try and figure out how to get one. You never know. Gary said Carbonneau is going to be electric when he comes. I hope so. I have a feeling he's going to be there next year. I really have a feeling he'll be there next year. I'm trying. Who is he doing this with? I'm not sure. That might have been what it was. I know that he had somebody that was close to him that was deaf, and that he learned sign language, and he's a big proponent of it. And me with my deafness, that's important to me. Ryan Green asked, "Whose spot does Carbonneau take?" Ooh. Oh, that was Tucker. Okay, thank you. I really, boy, someone's put me on the spot here. Let me go sit here and look at something real quick, see if I can answer that question. The thing with him Well, I don't think Sundqvist will be back, so Sundqvist will probably be gone. Bergen and Holloway are RFAs. They probably are going to sign. Druin is the guy that I could see the Blues possibly trading, right? No, he's not taking Bushnell. He's not going to move up to the second line like that. Gary, not instantly. Not instantly. There's no way. I mean, if anything, he starts on the third line or the fourth line, right? I don't see. I mean, he's been 19 years old. I don't see him starting on the first line. I mean, he's a great talent, but I don't see him starting on the first line right off the bat. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't. And I'm not as down on Buchnevich as many people are. I'm really not. And Buchnevich just signed a big contract with the Blues. He's going to be around for a while, right? Maybe his role gets redefined, but he's going to be around for a while. Oh, come on. I don't need political stuff here. You know. Oh, man. Gotta love when I get trolled again. Made it go away. Second line center. Bush isn't a center, though. Yeah, well, okay. I can see that where Carbonell comes in. Bush would probably go one or two. Bush is lucky. He is a two-way forward, and his defense is good. I don't have an issue with Bush. I don't. I really don't. I think he played. I mean, he struggled early in the season, but everybody did, right? The entire team struggled early, so the Blues did what they could. Will come here and as a winger. More than likely, that's the same thing Tage Thompson did. Tage came in a winger first, and then when he went to Buffalo, he got to play his natural position of center, but he started as a winger. So I could see that with Carbs. Gary Tackett, Jason McMillan, John Jeffrey, John Hefner, Ryan Green, Noel Buckingham, and Jason Nichols. They put some love is in the air tonight. Can you feel the love tonight? I want him to be a superstar. I'm not labeling anybody a superstar until they prove they're a superstar. Yep, he did. He actually did, and he did it early. Right? Yep, he did. He was the third one to do it, so you got to give him credit today. He was the third one to do it. And my numbers are going up. I'm seeing double digits, 10, 11, 12 people, a lot more. So that's making me feel good. You guys are all making me feel good about what I do and how this show has progressed and, making me feel a little better about trying to come home next season, for next season, for the start of the season. I have a reunion at the beginning of September, so that's going to really play into how my trip is, right? I'm going to have to, I'm not going to be able to go into Denver and drive this time. I'm going to have to fly into St. Louis and go there. Yeah, but that's also in juniors, right? I mean, the competition's not that great. I mean, now if he was putting up those numbers in the minors, in the AHL, then maybe I'd be, yeah. But you know what? Let me tell you this. I can think of a player who set records when he played in junior hockey. And I think in the NHL, he had 7 goals. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Former Blues player. All of you know who this guy is. All of you. Right? I'm going to look it up just to make sure. Right? I want to make sure. Oh, it's not. In the OHL, this guy had in juniors and the OHL, which is also juniors, okay? He had 34 points, 16 points, 55 points, 121 points, 65 points before he went on to the AHL. The OHL is the Ontario Hockey League, right? It's not Bedard. It's not Brett Hull. It's not Costin, right? In the NHL, I want to get this right. Make sure I get this right. In the NHL, this player had a total of 17 goals and 66 points. That's over 4.5, 5 years, right? Maybe a little more than that. But in juniors, he had 121 points. With the Sudbury Wolves, 1 year, he had 121 points. He only had 66 points in 5-6 seasons as an NHL player. Right? Anybody figure out who this is yet? Anybody figure out who it is yet? He had an 11-year career, but he played 454 games, so that's not a lot, really. Okay, and he ended up in 454 games. He had 66 points. Right. So Gary, do you see where I'm going with this? Right? Just because someone blows up the OHL or that. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Missing you guys. Tell Sharon I said hi, and I can't wait to see her in September. At least I'm trying to. And congratulations. I heard that she won something. I don't want to say what it is she won. I think you know what I'm talking about. Tell her I said congratulations. I'm very happy for her. Not Shorzy. It was Jamie Rivers. It was Jamie Rivers. Right? So, again, just because someone has those numbers in juniors doesn't mean it will translate. Again, I don't want to say what it was. I don't think this is the right place. Right? So, Reed Lowe and Chase had those numbers in the juniors. Right? So it just kind of goes to show you that just because someone puts up those numbers in juniors doesn't mean that they're going to be that stud. It could be. Yeah, you got to let me know when you're coming, Cindy. Let me know so we can set something up. Give me a double. Thoughts on the Robert Thomas injury? I kind of want to wait till Justin shows up if he does. I've got a lot of thoughts on it, but I kind of want to wait until Justin shows up so we can kind of talk about it and give it a fair amount of discussion. Right? Hopefully we can. Right? Gary says he'll be right back, but I thank all of you for joining me today. Cindy Lou, Aaron Nels, Ted Dieterman, Gary Tuckett, Jason McMillan, John Jeffrey, John Hefner, Ryan Green, Noel Buckingham, and Jason Nichols. Thank you for putting thumb in the air and giving some love to the Blue Note Fan Report on Facebook. If you do it on YouTube, I greatly appreciate it. I just can't see your name. I made a lot of people mad on Twitter. That's easy to do. That's very easy to do. I mean, I still don't understand how he didn't get supplemental discipline. I'm sorry, man. That was WWE move on ice. Yeah, I guess your wife doesn't like me at all, huh? Soup had a good story about him and Jamie and the miners. I'd probably love to hear it. I got to ask him sometime. I should reach out to him. I actually had Reed Lowe respond in my group. I thought that was pretty cool. Right? In our group. Did you see that, Chris? Since you're the main admin of that group? You saw that, right? If you did not know, if you haven't followed it, I have a group on Facebook called the Hawaii STL Blues Fan Clan. I think I need to change the name. To the BlueNote Fan Report fan club or something like that. But the group is well. It's moving along. I mean, and we had a very good admin who unfortunately passed away in Roland Spinks. We lost him last year. I was adminless for a while. And then I just out of the blue decided that the best person to be the new admin was Shockey. So Shockey became it to score in a game. Right? That would be cool. She hates it when I watch. What, does she hate who you are or who I am? Yes, it has been a year. It's been, well, it's not a year yet, but it's getting there. It'll be a year in September that we lost them. And it's been hard. It's been really hard on me. Right? It honestly has been a hard season without him. Straight up, it has. And, you know, I still remember the last time I talked to him. Okay, well, face off. Here we go. Puck drop. Let's see how we do. We got Joey and Curbs in the box and Strickland on the side. Blues and Sharks, 1 point apart in the one point apart in the standings. We're in fifth for the wild card, or we're in the fifth draft spot. They're in the sixth. We play them 2 of the next 3 games. Yes, I know it's been hard on her, and I can't wait to see her when I come just to say hi. Let her know that, you know, and I know she shows up or she'll say hi here and there. And she makes sure I know that she's thinking of me, and you know, I'm thinking of her. I was just really, really glad. I heard, Elder, and I'm really happy for you, bud. I hope it's a really good section for you. Right? Hope it's a really good section. Gonna miss you in the show. You're not going to be here in the show for us. I was really glad that I was home and that I was able to do what I did at his memorial service. I hope that all of you felt that I honored him in the way that he should have been honored. I hope I did. He's definitely missed on this show. Right. I recently got a new phone and had to go through, like, I have messages from 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and had to clean up my message box. I have messages from him that I will not delete. I will not delete. Just won't do it. Bergen with a nice little shot there. First shot on goal. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. Yes, I do remember that conversation, and I will never forget that conversation. You were the next person I called, John. You were the next person I called. And the Still got my shirt. I just could not. When I got that news, you were, and you can ask either Justin or Shockey, who was there. You know, as soon as I told them what happened, the next words out of my mouth were, "I need to call John." So, yeah, that's what it was. Oh, Letty on the sharks, yeah. I kind of forgot about that too. And welcome, Justin Scott, Eagle Eye. How you doing, Eagle Eye?
Doing well.
Right. We've been reminiscing a little. Cindy Lou is here. She's a good friend of Sharon Spinks, and we've been reminiscing a little bit about Roland here today.
Mhm.
So if you wonder why there's a little tear in my eye, that's why, right? You know, and then John, you know, asked me if I remember the conversation we had, or you sitting down, and I was saying, I remember as soon as I saw the message and I made the phone call to find out that it was true, I went and told you and Shockey, and then the next words out of my mouth were, I got to call John. Right? So, yeah, it was kind of tough. Right. Well, I mean, sorry, Tad. You know, Justin's part of the program. He does a good job for me. I know sometimes he's very strong with his opinions, but he has every right to be. Right? And again, remember, this is an opinion show. All opinions are important. None of our opinions are greater than anyone else's, and we try and do the best we can, man. So enjoy it, and I hope you decide to stay. That's all I can say. Right? I figured, Aaron. I figured. And I agree. No need to announce your departure. I get it. And I defend everybody. I don't just defend Justin. I defend everybody. Right? Yeah, I remember hearing about that, Cindy. Right. Oh, who got holding the stick? Broberg? But they're all holding the stick, ref. Even my dumb ones get brought into the conversation. Kelsey, none of your opinions are dumb. Well, you know, it's his right to act how he wants, Tad. And I mean, if you don't like it, that's fine. You have every reason not to like it. But I wish, you would still stick around for me and listen to me, right? That's it. You know, everybody here is fair. Everybody here is equal. Unfortunately, me and Justin have a platform that a lot of people don't. But we appreciate all of you, and we try and understand that. We'll leave it at that. Let's talk about the game and end this conversation. Kelsey, you are so welcomed here, and you are not uninformed. You are a new person who is learning, who has wonderful questions that we love answering. They really, yeah. Well, I mean, we will talk about it in the intermission about, I am on Justin's side now with the officiating. And it's not the badness of it, it's the inconsistency of it. That's where I'm going to go with. And he has really pegged on that they're inconsistent from one game to the next. And I agree with him now. I really, really do. And I have, Justin, you can call me out for this, but I have been on the side of the refs almost all season. I no longer am. Not in the not when it comes to consistency.
No, I won't even say all season. Here the last couple of weeks, you've shifted to my to my viewpoint on the officiating. Like I wouldn't say that you've been all season. You've given them the benefit of the doubt on some things that I would not have. Yeah. But here recently, you've agreed with me most on everything, and I didn't see the penalty that was called. So yeah, I can't really give you a 100% confirmation on whether or not it was good or bad. But at the end of the day, I try to give them credit. I mean, you saw in the last game when when that whole chaos started, that I thought the refs did a pretty good job of keeping it neutralized and keeping it kind of under wraps for the most part. So I try to give them credit when I can, but like, again, like you said, it's the consistency. It's not so much that things are called, and you said that things are bad consistently from game to game. Sometimes it's not even game to game. It's from the first period to the second period to the third period. That's how inconsistent it is.
Yeah, and that's kind of what that's where. So I'm not going to sit there. Oh well, this might be a makeup call. I didn't completely see it because you and me were talking, but it might be a makeup call, right? The thing that I have been is, look, they're humans. They're going to do the best they can. They're going to make, but the fact that one game they're really, really strict, and then the next game, I mean, and I know it's not the same refs every game, but if they're all not on the same page, it does make, and you said this, how hard it makes to watch the game when you don't know what's going to get called from one game to the next, right? Adam Gaudette. Yeah, Adam Gaudette's on the Sharks. Who is it? Is it Falk that's on, or not Falk? Yeah. Is it Falk? No. Somebody else is on the Sharks. Gaudette's on the Sharks. Ryan Reeves is on the Sharks. Nick Leddy is on the Sharks. That's the one I couldn't remember.
Yeah, so
three
it's
former Blues.
I was saying it and I was muted.
Yeah.
Leddy. Yeah. Leddy. I mean, Leddy, like I said, Leddy, the Sharks signing Leddy wasn't all surprising. I know that we talked about, oh, well, where would Leddy go? But it wasn't surprising because San Jose has so much cap space. So signing a guy like Leddy, like, he is not a bad third pair defenseman. I mean, he's not the first pair defenseman that he was in Chicago, but he's still a serviceable guy.
Yeah. Right.
Damn it, I lost all the comments.
Yeah. Who's in net for the Sharks? You know?
I believe it's Askarov.
Is it Askarov?
I could do. Is it? Yeah. Yes, I believe so, because he's a right-handed goalie. He's one of few right-handed goalies in the league. So I believe it is Askarov.
I'm trying to look it up here now.
Well, I'm pretty much telling you. I think it's Askarov.
Yeah, it's Askarov, right? Yeah. I remember his draft year, and he ended up going like number 17 or 18, somewhere around there, to Nashville. And I was thinking, man, those guys don't know what they got, right? And they blew it with him. That kid could have been. That kid is. He's still. You can see it now, even with the Sharks. I think he still has the talent to be a superstar goalie in this league, and given the right. And again,
well, sorry, go ahead.
For goalies, everyone, it's not always the goalie. It's how the goalie's like a quarterback almost. How they fit in the system, and how B, like a quarterback, the offensive line works for that quarterback. How the defense works for the goalie, and not the defenseman, the defensive play. Oops, that wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, I think I like Saros. Saros is a very underrated, very good goalie in this league, but I personally think it was a wrong decision for the Predators to get rid of Askarov instead of getting rid of Saros, because it's going to come back to bite them in the end, because now they don't have any goalies, I don't think, in their pipeline.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Well, what they did is they signed Wedgwood and then let Askarov go, right? Which made zero sense. And then they turned around and traded Wedgwood, right? So, there was a lot of mistakes made That could have been really good if he catches that clean. 13 seconds left in the power play. Bush trying to find a hole. Backdoor to Kyrou, just misses.
Yeah, I mean, the Blues power play as of this season, it's not been great. It's one of their weaker spots. It's gotten a little better, like looking wise, but this is where you miss a guy like Robert Thomas, and I'm sure you talked about it, you touched about it, and I'll we'll kind of talk about it more at the intermission. But I mean, this is a position where you miss a guy like that, Robert Thomas on the power play. Seeing how well that Jimmy Snuggerud, him have moved that puck around.
Yeah. One of the things that's going to happen next season, we are probably going to be one of the youngest teams in the league next season. You have a wonderful night too, Cindy Lou. I hope you pop back in sometime during the game and say hi again. Tell Sharon we miss her and we love her. Right? We're going to end up having one of the younger teams in the league next year. Right? At least one, if not two of our 30-year-olds are going to be gone by next season, and we're going to have an 18 or a 19, 20-year-old come up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's just crazy to think that that's what's happening.
Well, and that's and that's just the natural progression. I mean, that's what this team needs. This team definitely needs to, obviously, like we talked about, they're getting into the new guard. It is officially the new guard. I mean, it's like the semi-official technically, because we will be young. We will be a young team compared to most teams in the league. So that's kind of nice. So that makes me believe that we're, like I said, we're not that far off. We talk about it all the time.
I think we're going to be a younger team, but we'll be a young team with some experience, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because you look at Kyrou, Bushnevich, Thomas, that's some solid experience. You look in the defense, you still have Parayko. Oh, what a hit. You have Parayko, who's, he's 32, 33, but he's still, he's a number two. He's still a very solid number two defenseman. Oh, another good shot there by Mayu. Mayu. I think Mayu and Broberg are going to end up being your 1-2 within 2 years. Right? Would you agree with that or disagree?
Mayu's been spectacular. I mean, I know that Mike Meyer, I believe writer for the Blues, one of the writers at least, put out some numbers on Logan Mayu since the break, where he was like minus 12 or something like that, minus 14, and then he came out and he's had 5 points, and he's led the Blues in shots, points for defense. For the Blues. So, I mean, he's really turning it around, and obviously a lot of Blues fans jumping the gun. Oh, well, look at this. A lot of the so-called people that had a problem when we traded Bolduc are coming out now, obviously, and saying, oh, well, look now, Logan Mayu, he's panning out. So, again, it's kind of that backtracking now. So, Logan Mayu's playing well. So, now the people that, hated the Bolduc trade, who kind of jumped the gun, are like, oh, well, yeah, I knew that. Oh, I knew Logan Mayu would get going eventually.
I still hate the Bolduc trade. I'm glad we got Mayu, but I still hate the Bolduc trade. And I hate it because I feel at the time it was not a one-up trade. If we're giving up Bolduc, we should be getting more than just Mayu. Now, long run, Mayu might turn out to be a better player than Bolduc, but at the time, we should have gotten a pick. We should have gotten a second or a third round pick in there. And I think a lot of people agree with me on that.
Mm-hmm. You definitely should have got more. You definitely should have got more. But I hope in the long run, I don't know if Logan Mayu becomes a top pair defenseman for this team, but I'm hoping that at least he becomes at least a top 4 defenseman for this team. So whether that be on the second pair or if he really impresses and just really explodes his career and is a guy that plays alongside a Broberg. They played very well together here. They've tried to transition Parayko in a different position to where he's helping a guy like Lindstein out instead of playing with Broberg because we've seen that Broberg has kind of elevated his game. He's going to be a number one defenseman for this team. Your goal, if you're the St. Louis Blues, Doug Armstrong, Alexander Steen, should be limiting the role that Parayko plays on this team. He's still going to play a massive role, but he's getting older. He's not extremely old. I mean, let's not act like Colin Parayko is like ancient. He's not extremely old. He can still play, but you should be limiting that time to where you shouldn't have to rely on him as much.
Well, right now you've got Mayu playing in the second position, right? I think he's playing on the top line with both.
Broberg. Yeah, he's playing. I think he's playing with Broberg. So, and that's how it's been. They're transitioning Parayko. They're not transitioning him in a way to where he feels like useless or he's out of there. Blues are doing something very, very smart and something that Doug and Montgomery and that are not getting credit for is they're putting Parayko with Theo Lindstein, which is only going to help Theo Lindstein.
I absolutely agree with that. I really, really agree with that. I think that this is one of those solid moves where it's elevating a younger guy, right? It's elevating a younger guy. Jason McMillan says Mayu was a great trade. Bolduc has been benched and hasn't scored since January. Right? I can, again, at the time, again, hindsight's 2020. At the time, my biggest issue with the trade was that it was an even up trade.
Yeah, what you got? I said what you got. Your issue was, and I completely understand, because if you think about it, you're trading. Okay, so you're trading for a defenseman that has not had a proven amount of NHL games for a forward that is capable of playing, at the NHL level. He has been up there. So you wanted to get at least a little more.
At the time, you only had 3 games in the NHL, and Bolduc had 76.
Yeah.
Right.
So and you're trading a forward for a defenseman. Defenseman develop.
Bolduc had playoff experience. Right. Bolduc had playoff experience. Mayu had 3 games. That's not a one-up trade in me. Now, I get it. Yeah, we had a glut of forwards, and they had a glut of defensemen. And, we could use a younger defenseman. We had old defensive pair, and I got all that, and I understand all that. But when I still compare the apple to the apple, I go, my apple's sweeter than your apple. Make your apple a little bit, add something to your apple to equal mine. And that's the way I looked at it. Right?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you definitely should have added more for the Blues, in the trade, just because defensemen do develop. They develop, a lot more or a lot later than forwards do. Forwards are one of the easier positions, I think, to develop over obviously the defense and the goaltending. Yeah. Like they mature a little faster. But as I said, I wasn't too heartbroken about the trade. Like, if you remember, I know that you were very vocal about not liking it. I was like, this trade's going to show in time. Because like we just discussed, the maturity, it'll happen. Yeah. Logan Mayhew's still young, and there's still some things that Logan Mayhew can do better. It's not like Logan Mayhew's the best defenseman ever. He can still improve, but Bolduc has been very invisible for the Montreal Canadiens. He actually did score against the Islanders here recently, but it got waved off for offsides. So he would have scored, but and it was also a goal that probably should not have went in the net. But he's very, very silent, very non-threatening for the Montreal Canadiens. And this is what I go back to. A lot of people are overshadowed by the thought that, we got rid of Bolduc. He was playing really good. Zach Bolduc, he was playing very well, but he was playing very well on the power play.
Yeah.
And the reason he was playing well on the power play is because he had an elite passer like Robert Thomas passing him the puck. Yeah. So
again, my biggest issue was giving up a guy 76 games, 20 goals, I think, 15, 16, 17, 18 goals, a possible 20 goal scorer. for a defenseman who had only 3 games in the NHL and is in the AHL last year. So that's where it's at. By the way, John Hefner asked us to update the game. It is 0-0. Shots are 6-4 in favor of the Blues. There's 6:27 to go. Now they're 6-5. The Sharks are in the blue zone and are cycling just a bit. Shots are 6-5. They didn't give them a shot for that.
Yeah,
So
pretty routine save there by Joel Hofer. I'm not surprised, coming in, talking about this game. I'm not surprised to see Joel Hofer back in the net after winning the last game. I don't think he was heavily tested. I mean, he was heavily tested in the beginning. Few good saves in the beginning, but other than that, I don't think he was heavily tested. And Binnington's gonna get Toronto just because he's from there, right? So, he's going to get Toronto. He's going to get the game against Toronto, and I'm okay with that. It was a little surprising to see Binnington not get this game, but at the end of the day, we talk about it. Hofer's not the set number 1 on this team, but it is his net. So, which game is more important in the end? This San Jose game is more important than the Toronto game because Toronto's out of the playoffs.
I agree. Well, San Jose's basically out of the playoffs too, but this is a interconference game where Toronto isn't, and then you also play San Jose in 2 days, and you play them again on Tuesday, right? So, and the next Thursday in LA, my daughter's going to that game. Her and her girlfriend are going to that game. So she's mad that she bought the tickets when she did because now she says they're cheaper. So. I should have waited. Well, I mean, it happens. Lesson learned. I said, well, you got to pay attention to standings. If they're doing really good, the tickets are going to go up in value. If they're not, then they're going to go down in value. Okay. I'm turning. My daughter is turning into a pretty big hockey fan. She really likes the PWHL. Her and her girlfriend will go to a bar to watch those games. They really like the PWHL. Right, and I guess there's a bar in L.A. that's for women's sports. It only shows women's sport, or it mainly shows women's sports.
So, I know you talked about it in yours. I know your player to watch was Kyrou, right?
Yeah.
You picked Kyrou, and I picked damn. Why am I drawing a blank on this? I picked Dvorsky because he's coming up and replacing Robert Thomas in this game as the first line center. I don't know if you heard me.
No, I did. I had something else I had to deal with. Sorry about that. Can't wait to hear Dangle scream after we beat the Leafs, but solid. So I will tell you one thing that I think I've been seeing, and this is our offseason is going to be really interesting, and especially after the Stanley Cup Finals, you and me are going to have to do a couple of shows to talk about the draft and free agency, which is right after the draft. Excuse me. Because I think right now what you're seeing, Joel Hofer's maturation has so much to do. And I know you disagree with this. I don't know if you completely disagree with it, but I know you're not 100% on board with it. I think Binnington helps Hofer with his maturity. And I know some people are going, what are you talking about? Binnington's not mature at all. I really think that his veteran style, he's 28, 29 years old, maybe a little bit older than that now, 30. And he's really has, and you see the maturity in Hofer go. This is why for one more year or 1 or 2 more years, I want that veteran presence until he's able to take that step and become the veteran presence.
And I want to say this, I agree with you. Well, to all the people that said that Jordan Bennington is not mature, Jordan Bennington is absolutely mature. Obviously, you look at his career, you follow it. Everybody loves Jordan Bennington because he's such a he wears his emotion on his sleeve, and you like your goalies to show a little bit of fire, a little bit of passion. That's why we all like Jordan Bennington and love Jordan Bennington. But he's honed that in. Everybody says, "Oh, Bennington's a crybaby. Bennington's a little bitch. Bennington's this. Bennington's that." Dude, the guy hasn't done anything since what? The Hartman thing? I mean, he's practically been radio silent since then.
Yeah.
So
it's been a long time.
So it's been a long time. So anytime a play that is involved with Jordan Bennington, everybody wants to, he's a bitch. He's this, he's that. Like, you don't watch the games, because if you watch the games, Jordan Bennington does not, he doesn't do that stuff anymore. I mean, what was the last antic that he did was stealing Alex Ovechkin's puck. You remember that when he did that? And everybody,
I don't have a problem with that at all. I think any
no,
goal.
I didn't either. Well, I'm giving an example of what I'm giving, like an example of why people would think Jordan Bennington's like such a douche, or he's this, he's that. That was the last thing that he did, and I thought it was hilarious. I think Alex Ovechkin, he kind of made some comments on it, and he was kind of being, if I'm honest, I love Alex Ovechkin. He was kind of being a little bitch about it. I don't remember his exact words.
Yeah,
but he did kind of say something a little snarky, and something like where, like, he didn't take it as a joke. He thought Jordan Bennington was like serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's definitely matured. But I'm with you. I like I said, I'm half and half. Joe Hofer has played fantastic, and I know your goal is you want Jonathan Quick, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't.
Jordan Bennington, if you want a veteran presence, then you might as well just stick with Jordan Bennington. But my issue with that is if you stick with Jordan Bennington, and that's the case, and you stick with him next year, he is gone. You're losing Jordan Bennington for nothing. You're getting nothing for Jordan Bennington. So because he's not signing with the Blues after this season.
To me,
or after next year.
To me, I would do this, right? I would do this. I would see if there's a vet out there that could fit what I'm looking for. And if there's not in the offseason, I keep Bennington until January, right? And I see where we're at in the standings. If we're in the top three and divisional wise, we're solidly in the top three. Maybe I don't move him. Maybe I say, you know what, I'm going to be willing to eat this one. I'll take a playoff run and eat this one if that's what happens. Or I look and see, is there a trade to be made to where I can get another goalie that can be as serviceable as Bennington is, and make that run with that goalie. That's kind of where I would be. Now, John, I think you're wrong here. John says, what veteran experience did Bennington have? He just showed up. I disagree with that. He had veteran presence. Anybody, who was the veteran presence he had? I'm sorry, he had veteran presence. Right? Do you know who the veteran was, right? Muted.
Yeah, I know. I you have to say the question again. I didn't hear it.
Who was the veteran presence when Bennington was in net?
Yeah, Jake Allen.
Jake Allen.
I talked about it. I talked about it in the article that I did.
Mm-hmm. Jake Allen definitely was that experience that Bennington kind of learned of, and some of that chip on the shoulder came from Allen. It came from Allen, right? It came from him, and Hofer has a little of a chip on his shoulder. I'm starting to notice some of that, and I think that's coming from him. And I also sit there and I go, you look at Hofer at the beginning of the year when the wheels fell off, and they fell off for both goalies, right? if you have in that position 2 young goalies, if you had 2 young goalies in that position, I don't think that we're doing as well. I think that we are at the very bottom, and I mean the bottom of the league. We're in last place, right? The fact that you had that veteran presence in Bennington to say, I've been through this, we can get through it, I think it worked. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Sharon. Thank you, Sharon and Erickson Spinks, or Erickson Krieger. Erickson Spinks. Erickson Krieger. I'm looking at 2 different. Thank you. Bennington won a freaking cup. That's the presence. No, it was Allen. And during that 11-game win streak, Allen had 4 of those wins. 4 or 5 of those wins. They split them.
Look,
it wasn't all Bennington then.
When I mean, they talk about it. They've talked about it on this broadcast before. When Jordan Bennington came in, and he was the young rookie that came in, and he did all them great things and was just absolutely outstanding. The thing is Allen was he's a competitor. Most goalies are. Most goalies are individually internalized as competitors. They don't like giving up goals. Any goals that they give up, they think it's their fault, and they want to get better.
Yeah.
The difference I think that lies with Allen and Jordan is, for me, at least in my personal opinion, in my experience, Jake Allen's a fantastic goalie. But when I think of competitiveness and just wanting to be the guy, Jordan Bennington is the guy that wants to be the guy. Jake Allen was okay with knowing, okay, hey, this kid's playing better than me. I need to step aside and really help and mentor this guy. And I'm not saying that Jordan Bennington is not doing that, but I'm saying Hofer is playing outstanding. The Blues are where they're at right now, with the new guard changing, but Hofer is a big part of that. Hofer playing the way that he has is massively a part of it. He has 18 wins right now on the season, 18, 19 wins. So he has a positive record. Jordan Bennington does not. And I'm not saying that that's all Jordan Bennington, because the team has let him down in front of him. But there has been some games where he has been very bad.
He played that out of the he played that out of the trapezoid. He was in the trapezoid.
Who, Askarov?
Yeah. That's
I don't know.
Gotten called. That should have gotten called. His stick was out of the trap. That
I didn't
in the trapezoid when he plays it. Yeah, I saw it. They're not going to show it, but he should have got. That's the end of 1. We are 0-0. Shots are 9-6 in favor of San Jose. Kind of swift spots there. San Jose put some pressure on towards late. Each team had a penalty. Broberg took one at 3:40 for holding the stick. And at 6:09, Gaudette, former Blue, took one for hooking.
The shots are the shots. They had maybe 1 or 2 good chances. Hofer made some good stuff. No one has grabbed this game yet. The shots are 9-6 for San Jose, but and don't look at the shots and say, oh, San Jose, they were extremely the better team. It was a period that was solidly played by both teams. They're kind of in the feeling out stage. That first period just kind of felt like a feeling out kind of thing. The Sharks have lost 5 games here recently, in a consistent stretch. They're 10 or actually no, I think they're on a 5-game losing streak. The San Jose Sharks are 10 or no, they're 5, what was it? 5-13 and something. I thought that was. I could be wrong.
They are on a 5-game losing streak. In the last 5, they're 0-5-0. In the last 10, they are 2-6-2. In the last 5, the Blues are 3-1-1. In the last 10, they are 7-1-2.
The teams are kind of and it comes with that experience that I talked about. We all knew that San Jose was going to be a better team. We all knew that Celebrini was going to have an outstanding year, but the experience. The lack of experience is catching up with San Jose. And I fully expected that to happen. And for San Jose, fans don't get disheartened because this team's going to be good for years to come. And Celebrini's going to be an absolute stud in this league, one of the best players in the league. But this is okay for San Jose to miss the playoffs because this experience, it was gonna catch you a first round exit anyways.
Yeah.
So
Well, the biggest problem with San Jose is you got Celebrini with 96 points, right? Rookie year, 96 points. Amazing. Okay, great. Number 2 on that team is Will Smith with 47 points.
yeah.
You know, Sabrini's got more assists than Will Smith has points.
Yeah.
That and so it's the Michael Jordan defense. You know, when Michael Jordan played on the Bulls, the other teams would use what they would call the 3-headed monster and give you 18, fouls against him because you let Michael Jordan get his points and nobody else score, right? If you do that, you're going to win the game. This is kind of the same thing. You let Michael, Sabrini's going to get his points, but if you don't let anybody else get them, you're going to win the game.
Well, and we talked, and I talked about this with Doug, Matt, Lips, all friends of the show. We're all in agreement here that there's 2 teams that are going to be interesting in the offseason because for me, I think Austin Matthews' time is done in Toronto. I think his ties are completely done. I think he needs to walk. I think he needs to go elsewhere. Toronto needs to strip it down, rebuild it. Now, the reason I mention this and why this is going to segue into this is because there's 2 teams I can see Austin Matthews going to. And my front runner right now is Utah. But my second choice and could absolutely help this kid and his development keep growing as a player is going to be Celebrini and the Sharks for Austin Matthews. The Sharks have a lot of cap space to work with. They have a lot of assets that they can get rid of for Austin Matthews. Those are 2 teams that, just imagine if it was Celebrini and Austin Matthews on the same team. You have an elite goal scorer and you have a kid in Celebrini who can score and dish the puck. It's a dangerous duo right there, and it would really help even further progress the San Jose Sharks. Because I think if you do make that move, if San Jose does get aggressive and try to make that happen and make it a reality, you could be looking at a team in San Jose that makes the playoffs next year.
So what would you give up for? First of all, Matthews has got a full-on no movement clause, and he's making 13.2, right?
But that's fine. That's why I said his ties are done in Toronto. He talks like as if he doesn't want to be in Toronto anymore. The Toronto faithful doesn't want him there. The management clearly, they don't know what they're doing in Toronto. The ties with Austin Matthews and Toronto they just feel done to me. Just look at how they reacted when he went down with injury. No one stuck up for him. Obviously, he doesn't have any support there. If you're Austin Matthews, I don't know why you wouldn't want to leave.
Yeah. Shockey said you kind of messed that up. They doubled Mike and made Pippen, and the others beat you. Mike was just good enough to beat double teams. What I think that the 3-headed monster was against Shaq. Because remember, Shaq couldn't. The hit on Shaq was he couldn't make free throws. I think he was like 44% or something at the free throw line, or maybe a little above 50%. I even remember the Taco Bell commercial where he would eat a taco like this, and all of a sudden he was hitting 3 throws. So that was the big joke. My Matthews could be gone, but again, he's got all the control. Would Matthews go to?
That's the thing. Austin Matthews being done. Austin Matthews, I will have a say. I think a little bit in where he goes. I don't think that the organization, maybe the management, have a beef with Austin Matthews, but the fans do. I just don't think Austin Matthews wants to play there anymore. Obviously, with the support, I don't think he's getting much love from his teammates. I just think it would be a beneficial for Toronto to cash in on getting assets and building for a future for themselves. And San Jose has a lot of picks that they can give up, that they can really cash in. And they have the cap space. Those teams in Utah and San Jose, they have the ability and the flexibility to go out and try to acquire Austin Matthews.
I don't think San Jose has the picks you think they do, right? Because I'm looking at them right now. This year, they have 2 first-rounders, a second-rounder, 2 fourth-rounders, 5th, 6th, and a 7th. Next year, they have a first-rounder, a fourth-rounder, 5th, and a 6th. And in 28, they have a first, a second, a 6th, and 2 7ths. Now, looking at that, I'm thinking you got to give up all 4 of your first-rounders for the next 3 years to get Matthews, and you're still giving up a player or 2.
Well, and again, like I said, it's all about what the return would be. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. This is me throwing it out there because the San Jose Sharks and the Utah Mammoth have the ability to play aggressive. I talk about not playing at Sesame Street safe. I talk about how I love the Minnesota move so much because Minnesota did not play it safe. They went out there and they gave up assets. They gave up good assets, but they acquired a very, very star defenseman in Quinn Hughes. So I love it because it was ballsy. The reason that you're doing this and you're okay with possibly giving up a prospect, a good prospect, maybe a Will Smith, is because you're getting a star guy in Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews is, I don't know where he is at his age. I think Austin Matthews is Austin Matthews 30 yet?
No,
I think
he's
early 30s.
No, he's not even close to that. I think he's 25 or 26, maybe 27. He's not that old.
He's old. No, he's definitely older than Robert Thomas. He came in what, 2014?
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure he's in his. I think he's in his late 20s or 30s, early 30s.
Austin is 28. 28.
Okay, so he's in his prime currently. He's still in his prime. San Jose, they can really speed up a lot of things. And you may have to give up, someone like a Will Smith. Will Smith should be a good player, but the reason you would do something like that is because you're getting a proven guy who has scored a lot of goals in the NHL. And you're getting a guy in Austin Matthews who can help you progress your rebuild quite nicely. Because San Jose is, I'm not going to say that they're right there, but Celebrini is a fantastic start. They need a better supporting cast.
They're showing my pretzels, Justin. They were showing my pretzels on. You know that's like one food I have to have every game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think I've gotten Justin into that now, where he has to get a pretzel every game. Don't ask me why. It's one of them really weird things where I just feel like I need a pretzel during the game. It's right,
Okay. Well, I know we're kind of intermission. I still want to tackle the biggest elephant in the room, the Robert Thomas.
Go ahead. Go for it. You start.
I don't know how much of this you actually talked about. I would assume that you talked about it because it was a hot topic.
Very little, because I was waiting for you.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how I can not say anything but like I even said this. You know this. I came on this show and said, watch somehow this be a absolute slap in the face to Blues fans and hockey fans around the world, and George Parros gives Pierre-Luc Dubois nothing. And what does he do? He goes in and he gives Luc Dubois nothing. Nothing. So I'm flabbergasted, but I'm not flabbergasted in shocked, because I'm not shocked. I called it. Yeah. I called it to a T. But yeah, no, go ahead. Give me your thoughts, because I'm interested.
Because I'm with you here. I looked at this and I said, how do you see this as anything other than intent to injure? How do you see this? And the only way that I can look at this is possibly go at the time. Montgomery says, oh, he's fine, but he's day-to-day, so he's not fine. He missed today's game. So how is that? It's not a no harm, no foul. There's still a foul there, and there was harm. Now, I've looked at the play numerous times, and I've looked at its speed, and I've looked at it off speed, and again, I even talked to my therapist about this today, trying to see everyone's perspective, right? Spur of the moment, could that have happened? And if I'm going to give just a benefit of the doubt, I say spur of the moment, maybe. But the problem here for me is, and I ask myself this of everything, right? If it was done on the other way, because I ask myself, it's politics, right? If this person did it, would I be upset? And if the answer is yes, then I have every right to be upset. If Thomas would have done that to Pierre-Luc Dubois, I'd be just as upset if Thomas didn't get anything, because he would have deserved it.
No, and I want to no. I think I like your comparison there. I'm gonna throw a different one out there. I'm gonna say, see, we don't really have any. See, the thing is we don't really have any dirty players. I don't really classify many of our guys as dirty guys. They play a lot with honor, but let's just say, let's just use Robert Thomas, for instance. Okay. Let's just use him. What if Robert Thomas, and I want to say this to all the Caps fans, what if Robert Thomas did that to Alexander Ovechkin? I would still, myself and Guy, would say the same freaking damn thing, that this was a dirty play. But the thing is I know Robert Thomas wouldn't do it, because, like I said, I really do believe that the Blues play with honor, and they almost play too much. They almost play almost too at their detriment. Like, I think the Blues play such an honorable game where they don't play dirty, to where it actually is a detriment to them, because they don't have the ability to say, okay, I'm going to go out there and really lay some dirty, cheap shot hits. Like, they're just not a team that does it.
Who the dirtiest player we have on our team is? We have two that I would consider somewhat dirty. Two.
Who?
I'll give a guess. Who? I'll let our fans, because this is fun. We've got 8 people watching us. Who on our team on Star Wars night, by the way, which is my favorite night of the year? Who on our team is dirty? Nah, not Walker. Not even close. I would not say Walker's dirty. Not even close. Who on our team would you think of as possibly being dirty? I have 2, and they're like not even borderline dirty, but they would be considered, if you would say who's the dirtiest player on the team, these 2 guys would come up. Right?
Now for me, I mean, I get what you're saying, like borderline, but like the only guy that I can ever like really say for me that, like, and it's not like a dirtiness maybe per se, but it's like, I know that we have Oscar Sundqvist, and Oscar Sundqvist is like, he's a fan favorite, and I'm not saying that he would be that guy, but Oscar Sundqvist is a guy that, doesn't have a tendency to embellish.
That's one of them, and Shockey got the other one.
Okay, so
Bennington. First of all, hold on. Hear me out. Sundqvist has been suspended for slew footing, and that was in the finals, right? And then he has been suspended once and fined multiple times for embellishment, right? Okay, that's borderline. And then you look at Bennington, maybe not now, but you look at the Bennington that, threw a water bottle at Kadri, swung a stick at somebody else, went after Hoffman, which I think was perfectly justified, and some other people. He's gone out and done that and has have a quote-unquote dirty reputation. Doesn't mean he's dirty, but he has a dirty reputation. But that's the dirtiest you can come up with on the Blues. I can't come up with anybody else that I would sit there and go, maybe you could call this guy dirty. Now, there was one guy on the team that we used to have within the last, say, 10 years that I thought was dirty, that was a huge fan favorite, right? I don't know if anybody who in the last 10 years, going back to 26 to 2016, maybe even 14, go back to 2014, Who would you think might be the dirtiest player that we've had? I have one.
And honestly, and I want to say this too, and because I don't think he's dirty either, but everybody can be pushed to a certain limit, and you could have an instance where one game something has happened. I go back to, and like I said, I don't think he's dirty. I think he's the same with Bennington. He wears his heart on his sleeve, but Pavel Buchnevich, when he gets angry, he gets angry. And I go back to the headbutt that he put on one of the Utah players. That was dirty. But
yeah, Shocky's got me. Shockey knows me way too well. Ryan Reeves.
Ryan Reeves. Ryan Reeves would definitely be up there. But like I said, I think that, and I think that's not too far off. I think the Blues play so honorable, and they don't take the approach of like a Florida Panthers team. Yeah. And I think that they do it to their detriment. But the thing is for me, I don't want to see players injured. I don't want to see players hurt. So the fact that the Blues play with so much, that's why I have so much love and respect for the St. Louis Blues, and while I'll always be a Blues fan and I'll always love the Blues, because they do play with that honor.
And puck drop, Finley wins it back to Broberg. And we start the second period, tied 0-0. San Jose leading shots 9-6. They do it with the long change. No, and that's one thing. When you go back with the Blues, you go back all the way in their history, you might come up with one or two dirty players, one or two overall, but not many. Right? And there's one guy, and I say this knowing that I know this man. Like, I have this man's number in my phone, and I could say that some might, Torpachenko looks like he might be hurt, might think he was dirty, but he wasn't. He was just tough as hell. Right? Would be Tony Twist.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to say Tony Twist didn't throw punches, he threw bricks. Tony Twist was known to crack helmets in half. I've had this man on the show. I have shook that man's hand. It is, and Justin, I'm a big guy. I was afraid to shake his hand because I thought he was going to crush me. Right? He is just a big man. He's got toughness. Kelly Chase, same way. Chase was one of those guys off the ice, nicest guy in the world. On the ice, he'd kill you. And then the only other guy, if I go back in our history, there's one guy on the ice that I would say you might think was dirty on the ice. Not off the ice, but on the ice. And I'm going to wonder if anybody can sit there and think of, and I will give one hint, original Blue, that would be considered dirty. Tony broke aluminum sticks, cross-checking people. Yeah, that man was just, yeah.
Well, and I like I said, and I want to say, like I said, any player can be pushed to a certain degree, but I'm saying just a consistently dirty player has a reputation to be that kind of dirty. Just the Blues have not been that way. But if you look at the Stanley Cup winners over the recent couple of years, I mean, you look at it. Florida, I still to this day, no one's going to change my mind. Florida is the dirtiest team in the NHL. I've never seen so many cheap headshots, so many bad hits. They're definitely up there for being a dirty team, and they're willing to do that. And that's what it seems like. Teams that are winning Stanley Cups, those are the teams that are willing to do those types of things. I go back to Colorado, Kadri with Ronnie Bennington. With the water bottle thing, we could talk about that separate. But Kadri most definitely ran into Bennington on purpose.
Yeah.
Vegas. What do you know? They're a bunch of cheaters over there in Vegas.
San Jose for a while. San Jose, the year that in 2000, what was it, 16 or 19? I can't remember if it was 16 or 19. They got, they had a penalty against.
Oh, here we go. Sorry. Logan Mayu getting into a scrap.
Is he?
Yeah, getting into a fight.
Yep. Come on, Mayu, throw some punches. They're going to break it up. Oh, Mayu got cut. Right. Shockey says if you really watch DP57, did some dirty stuff. True. I'll say that. But by the way, since no one's responded, the player that I was talking about, probably the dirtiest player that the Blues ever had, and this was only on the ice.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. So again, I want to say this to the official. I want to say this to the official because I've been hard on them. They got this call right. This call was right. Absolutely right. Logan Mailloux finishes a check on Adam Gaudette. Logan Mailloux is down on the ice. He gets cross-checked by Sawchuk. That's your penalty right there. That's your extra. He instigates the fight. And then Logan Mailloux is skating away. Sawchuk literally just throws a punch. He doesn't even wait for Logan Mailloux. He just throws a punch immediately. So, I mean, this is the right call right here. So I just want to throw that out there just because I talk about the officials.
I'm trying to wait to see what the board doesn't show it yet. So
it was Logan Mailloux gets a 5 for fighting. Sawchuk gets a 5 for fighting, but he gets the extra 2 for instigating.
Yeah, well, that hasn't shown up yet, so I'm still there. We go. Okay, now it shows up. Yep, there we go. So we're on the power play, right? Goes to a power play. So the player that I was talking about, possibly the dirtiest player, I can't believe no one came up with this. Come on, guys. I'm going to give you just a few more minutes. Who is possibly the dirtiest player the Blues ever had? And my clue is original blue. Right? I can't believe nobody's gotten this. Oh, Dvorsky almost buried that. The puck control has been so much better on the power play. Neighbors couldn't get that one through.
It's so unfortunate because, like I said, the puck movement has been good and it has looked good on this power play. Like I said, and I know I'm a big Robert Thomas guy. You know that.
Yeah.
It's where you miss Robert Thomas because Robert Thomas is able to get a lot of these passes through. I mean, I'm not saying that these players can't, but Robert Thomas just has an edge for just threading passes.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have a completely. I don't have
very good movement though. I feel like the movement's good on the outside, but it's just
puck control and the getting, finding a hole. Well, not as much finding a hole, but just getting the puck moved. Oh yeah. That's good power play. They got a couple shots on net.
Good and he got a 10.
3 shots on net. Yeah, I'll take it.
Sawchuk got a 10-minute too, so he'll be in there for 15 minutes.
Oh, he did get a 10 misconduct. Okay.
Well, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't get kicked out of the game, but he got a.
Yeah.
Oh. Very good. Like I said, hopefully the Blues can build off of this. The power play obviously has struggled to score. The movement has looked a lot better here in the recent stretches.
Shockey knows who I'm talking about. He's going. Gasoff was probably dirtier than Bobby, maybe, but Gasoff unfortunately didn't get to play as long as he should have. But to me, Bobby Plager with that hip check of his. That was nasty, and it was Plager that caused that. Well, him and Unger that caused that brawl in Philadelphia. So yes, it was Bobby, and yes, his number is retired. So That's what I was going with that. The Blues have not had many many dirty players on their team.
Yeah,
And they've always been a
consistently
blue-collar-
dirty.
Yeah, they've always been a blue collar. We don't put up with that stuff, and Bobby kind of made sure of that. With the way he was with the organization and about the name on the front of the jersey meaning more than the name on the back, and creating the Blue Note and what it meant, and giving it meaning and prestige.
Well, and again, you have to always ask yourself: the Blues have one Stanley Cup, and the Blues were a very hard checking, take no BS, and they won the cup. They won the cup on being throwing a little bit of different stuff, maybe some questionable things. So you got to ask yourself: the Blues have had some fantastic players in their history. You got to ask yourself, if the Blues played a little bit dirty, if the Blues played a little bit dirtier, do you think the Blues would have more cups?
No.
I mean, I think it's not a wrong question to ask, because, like I said, you look at the teams that win the Stanley Cup, they usually have the edge for being able to be a little bit more physical, be a little bit more edgy when it comes to making risky hits, making risky plays.
Yeah.
It seems like that.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, in our history, there are probably only 3 teams that I think were Stanley Cup credible teams. One being the 19 team, another one being the 20 team, and then there being one other team that I think should have won the cup. And I'm pretty sure, someone's going to come up with it. I think a cup team needs an antagonist. I kind of agree. I think they do in some way. Right?
And I'm gonna go back to the 2022 team. I think the Blues of 2022 could have won the cup. I think that if the way that I view it, it's a what if statement. But if I go back and look at it, the Blues were further along in the development, obviously, than Edmonton. Edmonton had Connor McDavid and everything like that, but the hardest competition that Colorado played in the 2022 playoffs was us. And if they didn't run Bennington, the Blues probably beat Colorado. And if that's the case, the Blues would have beat Edmonton, and they would have played a banged up Tampa Bay team. So it's a possibility.
I can see that. I do see that, but maybe they're on the outside. Maybe they're the 4th on the outside. But Shockey knows me way too well. In '95, when Gretz was here, that team should have won the cup. That team should have won the cup. And that team, that is probably one of the few teams in the history of the league that lost their cup because of their coach. That had everything to do with their coach. Everything. Right? And that was, I'm sorry, at that point, when all that happened, Mr. Shanahan should have just fired Keenan and said, if I do that, and gone back to Gretzky and said, okay, can we fix this now? And it probably could have been done. And unfortunately, Keenan's contract was really, they just didn't want to go for it, but they should have. And Grant getting injured, yeah, that's the same year Grant gets injured too. That had a lot to do with it. So
yeah, I mean, both teams have been in the zones. Nothing has been really highly established in this game.
No.
A lot of play to the outside. These teams are doing very good of just keeping teams to the outside. Both teams are just keeping them to the outside.
I even had Grant Fuhr tell me he thought they were winning the cup that year. The year he got hurt, he straight up said, No one was stopping us from the cup. The only way we were getting stopped from the cup was somebody getting hurt. He felt that team, that they were, with the time that Gretzky had been there, that him and Hull were really starting to gel, right? And you go back and you look at that play, John Casey was not in the net. No one ever talks about that. You go back and look at where John Casey's standing when that goal goes in. He's not even close to the net. Right? He was skating around, and when Gretzky coughed that puck up, Gretzky had it, Gretzky lost it. Casey wasn't in the net. That's why that puck gets shot from the blue line, because no goalie was in the net. And no one ever talks about that. Stevie Y never talks about it, but Stevie Y should. Man, the net was wide open. Casey wasn't there. If I could ever get Casey on the show, I would offline ask him that question. All right? I wouldn't do it online unless he gave me permission to, but I would ask him it offline first.
It's and just kind of going back. Obviously, I want to focus on the game here for the last 2 periods, but going back a little bit to the situation with Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas not being in the lineup. Montgomery saying that he was fine. Clearly, there was, I don't know if it was like some late term effects or if it was just not wanting the Blues fans to worry or whatever. But Robert Thomas being out, even a game, makes this situation a whole lot worse.
Yeah. I kind of sit there and wonder if maybe he held him out because there was no supplemental discipline. Right? I wonder if he wanted to. I mean, that's a way to make a, what do you call it? You make a statement. Oh, well, wait a minute. Here he is out. But he did say afterwards that he passed protocol and he's fine. But now I'm wondering, maybe he wasn't fine, Maybe it was said tongue in cheek and it wasn't. It's one of them times where maybe he shouldn't have said anything other than I don't know. Shockman says he could have felt okay, then the next morning it hits him. Possible.
Oh. But hey, San Jose should not be angry here. Askarov looks to be injured on the play, and this is all San Jose's player cross-checking Nathan Walker into the net. So this, if Askarov is seriously hurt, I hope he's not. But Askarov is not doing well. He's not moving. So, he's still down. He's kind of stirring a little bit. But yeah, Nathan Walker gets absolutely cross-checked by the Sharks defenseman into his own goalie. There should be absolutely no penalty on Nathan Walker. Nathan Walker got cross-checked into Askarov. But they're going to give Walker a penalty.
Yeah, he pushes him. He doesn't cross-check him, but he elbows him in. He didn't cross-check him, but he elbowed him in.
Well, still, he pushed him into his own goalie. It's not goalie interference, but they're still going to give Nathan Walker a penalty.
Anthony's asking, will the Blues get a wild card spot? I'm saying no.
So, again...
Yeah, he gets elbowed in. He doesn't get cross-checked, but he gets elbowed in, and I struggle with that. But he was outside of the blue paint all the way. He can't breathe.
So again, this is what I'm talking about. See, and I'm sorry, I'm going back on it. I just gave the officials praise on how they handled the Logan Mailloux thing. They handled that correctly. That's what I'm saying. You give them an inch, and they take a freaking mile. So they're giving Nathan Walker.
But hold on. Well, they're looking at it. There you go.
San Jose penalty number 9 and St. Louis penalty number 26.
There you go.
For roughing. All right. Those guys really should have probably gotten 2 minutes.
So it went for roughing.
They really didn't rough each other whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm with again. So, but again, I'm with Curbs. You should have just gave him 2 for hugging. That's all that was. So I I'm sorry. Like I hope Ashcroft's okay, but like this is caused by his own player. His own guy does this to him.
Yeah. Well, that's
And-
why
and Orlov-
that's why he's not getting a goaltender interference penalty. Right?
But there shouldn't have been any penalties. They're literally just hugging. Nathan Walker and Orlov are literally just hugging each other. There shouldn't have been a penalty at all.
Yeah, but 4-on-4, I'm okay with 4-on-4.
Oh, I'm okay with it, but again, I mean, I think you're just grasping at straws. I mean, Nathan Walker and Orlov are literally just hugging each other. That's all they're doing. But I hope Askarof's okay. That was definitely not good. I don't know if it's a face thing or if it was if it's a knee thing, because he's kind of in a butterfly position, I think, when he goes down or when he's hit. So anything with the knee would be my guess. But
I don't know. I guess you're paying for it somewhere. You got a thing. There's something worse than that with no calls. Okay, fair enough.
Well, what? And
Kelsey makes a good point. She says they're maybe trying to head off a game that's getting chippy quick, and that's a good point. I'll give her that. That's quite possible. And I want to say a big thank you to Stephanie Brodowski, Sharon Spinks, and Erickson Krieger for putting them thumbs in the air and telling us that they care.
All right. Well, this will be good. Askarov was playing decently well. I mean, like I said, both teams have not had a crazy amount of chances in this game. They've done a good job keeping them outside, but the Blues can take advantage of it. They did get a few chances, so Askarov was up to the task. Maybe Nedeljkovic coming into this game, they can take advantage of it. 4-on-4 though, Blues have just 1 goal, 4-on-4, I believe.
Yeah.
And they actually scored that 4-on-4 goal not that long ago. I can't remember what game that was.
Not that long ago, you're right.
But still, you don't see 4-on-4 is not a thing you see as often as you think you do.
Actually, the Blues have 2 goals, 4-on-4. And
Okay.
San Jose has 1 for and 2 against. The Blues have not given up a 4-on-4 goal.
Yeah, no, 4-on-4. I mean, and again, like I said, it's something you don't see. You think that you would see more 4-on-4, but you honestly don't. You don't see as much 4-on-4 as you think you do. I think the Blues. I think the Blues play really, really well 4-on-4. Whether they score or not, I think that they play very, very well 4-on-4.
Mayu is growing into a NHL defenseman game by game. He is getting to a point. I do think, I know you think he's a 3 or a 4. I do think he's going to become a 2 or a 3. I do think that he's going to be. I think because he's playing in a 2 position now, and he's playing well in it. So I think he could become a solid 2. It probably could. Well, if it was 3-on-3, it had to be overtime, because that's the only time you would have gone 3-on-3 in regular. It would have been in overtime. In regulation, you will not go 3-on-3. Big save by Hofer there. 4-on-3, maybe that I could see, or a 5-on-3.
The is Celebrini in this game?
Yeah.
Okay, well, and I don't mean that disrespectful. I just the Blues have done a very good job of keeping him very, very contained
Quiet,
because
yeah.
I have not heard him at all, really.
Celebrini has 1 shot, 2 attempts. He has a hit, 2 giveaways, and he's 38% on the faceoff dot. He's 3 for 8. That is Celebrini's line. He's got 9 minutes and 40 seconds on the ice, 10 shifts.
Yeah, Celebrini. Speaking of Celebrini showing some frustration right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just said that because I literally have not really noticed him in this game. And, in the first game or in that last game that we played against San Jose, Celebrini was the best Shark on the ice, obviously, and he was very, very noticeable. In this game, I just have not felt that.
I'm watching one of these stupid ass Experian commercials.
This is going to be close. I mean, this has been a tightly contested game, though. I didn't really expect something like this for these two teams. Obviously, they're one struggling, skidding off. The Blues playing good hockey as of late, but I didn't really expect it to be a defensive clinic of a game.
John asked an interesting, if a player commits a crime and goes to the box, I mean, I wouldn't call it a crime, a penalty. Can the coach elect to keep him in the box and put someone in off the bench? I'm not completely sure what your answer. I think the answer is no.
I think
no. Actually, the answer is no. The answer is no. Right?
Yeah, I think he's asking if you can replace somebody right in the box.
Yeah,
and put somebody. No, yeah, no, you can't do
in
that.
The box is the player that has to come out, and they have to go all the way over to the bench.
Yeah.
The only way that they don't is like on a 5-minute major, or a misconduct where you have to wait until a player you weren't there wasn't a hole in the ice. Right, or you see it at the end, or you see at the end of the period, right? So like if you get a penalty and then they just send the guy off, usually sometimes, and then someone will just sit in the box, as a holder, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, Krebs and Joey talking about right now what I was just talking about. Celebrini has spent this pretty much whole entire game in the defensive zone, which is this is a good sign. Obviously, don't jump the Thomas Trey Thomas band, keyboard warriors, but the Blues playing well without Robert Thomas in this game and keeping Celebrini at bay, keeping him in the offensive zone. You would think that would be a little bit more challenging, not having a guy like Thomas in the lineup.
Mm.
Yeah, 35 goals, 61 assists for 96 points. What a season for Celebrini!
Yeah,
and Celebrini
I talked about that at the break, or no, at the pregame.
Yeah, Celebrini should be. Celebrini should. I don't know if he's. San Jose's unlikely going to make the playoffs, but Celebrini should honestly win the Hart.
He's not going to win the Hart, but I think he's going to win the. Is he a rookie this year? Huh?
No. He's second year. Yeah, he's second year. I think he's going to win, or am I thinking of the Selke?
Selke, he might have a better chance.
Yeah. Well, who do you
Chucky
think
said the biggest issue without
gonna get the
Thomas
heart?
is face-off. Yeah, well, actually, we're winning them though. We're 19-12. We're up 61% to 39%. So we're actually doing pretty decent on face-off.
Well, and I want to say, I want to say this though too. San Jose is not a great face-off team. So, this is one that you should win without Robert Thomas in the lineup. San Jose is not a face-off juggernaut by any means, but Robert Thomas not taking face-offs is detriment to this team because the Blues were
nice.
The Blues were well over 50% on the faceoff dot with Thomas in the lineup. With Thomas, not being there, and then the Blues really struggled on the faceoff, so now they're under 50%.
Big. Hofer's got big eyes right now. He's seeing that puck. He's seeing the puck really, really well. Broberg broke that 3-on-1 up. That's just amazing.
Tell you what, those are my next two. Those are my next two jerseys right there. Philip Broberg and Jimmy Snuggerud. Those are my next jerseys. I'm with you on this one. I would really like to see.
Joey just caught a puck.
I'm with you on this one. I would really like to see, out of anybody, I would really like to see Jordan Kyrou really shine here late in this game here.
Yeah.
Give us some.
I heard people bitching about Kyrou not passing a puck over to Buchnevich, right? During and taking the empty netter by himself. Buchnevich was telling him to.
Yeah, I don't think Bush doesn't have any ill will towards it. Fans should not care. The Blues got the empty netter, but that's the thing. You can't have your
Kyrou can't do anything right. If Kyrou would have passed that puck over to Buchnevich and Buchnevich scores, Kyrou should have just kept it himself. I don't know why he passed it. Right? There's nothing he would have done in that situation that the Kyrou haters weren't going to find a reason to bitch about.
But no, this is what I'm talking about. I'm just saying people just don't have a stance. Some people do have a stance and they stick to it. A lot of people don't though. Everybody backtracks. Everybody wants to take a stance, and then when it's not the right stance, or when it doesn't end up being the right stance, then they want to change up and backtrack and act like they had the right stance to begin with, like they knew the whole time.
When we had the German fan on, and I can't remember his name now. When we had the German fan on, and him having that thought process of, I heard Kyrou got the coach fired, and Kyrou's bad in the locker room. And then when I showed that video from the morning after with Bernie Malezic, I got it. I already got one coach fired. One coach can. That thought process is I don't understand it. I don't, and the thing with the people beating on that he's not my coach. I talked to Jim Thomas about this, and I talked to him actually offline because he kind of admitted, he said I was wrong, but then he kind of admitted I was right. That did not happen. First of all, Jim was no longer with the Blues with the paper when that happened, and he's admitted to that. Because we had talked about this before we had the show, and Bernie Malezic put that out after warm-ups. He asked that question either right before warm-ups or right after warm-up. He put it out to be a dick. And I'm sorry, I mean, I said Malaysic, but I meant Rutherford. Rutherford put it out to be a dick. I'm sorry. There's no reason to put that out when he put it out, and there was no reason to ask that question when he asked the damn question.
I will play devil's advocate and say that he is media, so you're gonna expect him to break. You're gonna expect him to break stuff like that. Yeah, the timing was not right. The timing was not correct, but he's media at the end of the day, so he is going to report what is said, what is done, what is interviewed on. But the timing could have been better. But that's the corporate kind of greediness of how the media works, though, is you look at, like, not to draw a parallel, but you look at when the Parayko stuff broke, how it broke so early and how it shouldn't have broke. Everybody's so bloodthirsty to get credit, on breaking certain stuff. So they got to get something out. They got to get the news feed out, as quick as they can. I just feel like that's the way with media. So not the right time, but I don't necessarily think that the main thing was just to be a dick. I don't think that was the main goal.
The reason because my thing here, the reason that I feel it was that way was because A, when the question was asked, and B, how the question was asked. That question should have been asked at morning skate. If you're going to ask that question, ask it at morning skate. He asked it at a time period when the Blues when the team was getting ready for a game. It's not when the question should have been asked, right? And then to post it right before a game, knowing that the way it was going to be perceived. I mean, you don't post that not knowing how it was going to be perceived, right? So, John's asking something about a cheese story from weeks ago. I don't remember it, so maybe you do. I don't.
I think he might be referring to when I said that girl, one of the woman in the supermarket or Walmart or whatever. I grabbed a thing of slices of cheese, and she asked me what my how did it smell, and I said, I'm legally blind. I have to look close or whatever. And then she didn't say anything after that. She just walked away.
Yeah,
there wasn't much of a story. It just was pretty much like, here, this is what happened kind of thing.
So Kelsey says, I looked it up because I didn't trust me. There was 23 seconds of 3-and-3. Was that overtime? Or was it regulation, Kelsey? Regulation. Huh. Why would there be 3-on-3 in regulation? I would have to look at that. I can't think of a reason there would be 3-on-3 in regulation. I didn't think they allowed 3-on-3 in regulation.
I mean, I will say it has happened. There is times where there has been 3-on-3 hockey that's played, but it's very, very rare in regulation. It just happens when penalties are called. I mean, when penalties are called, you're going to end up in a situation to where if they're called a certain way, that you're going to have 3-on-3. Like you said, it's probably going to be for a short amount of time. You're probably likely not going to have a situation where like 4 guys get called for 2 penalties each, or up 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's 3-on-3. But
that was the game Snoogie scored to win with 7 seconds left. I'm going to have to look it up, Kelsey. You're making me want to look that up. I'll have to look it up later. Obviously, can't do it while we're doing the show, but. Dvorsky. Johnny on the spot. Oh, what a shot. What a shot.
Good entry there by the Blues. Holloway gets his puck, and then I don't know. I have no idea. They were puck watching for sure. San Jose's defense was puck watching. He gets his puck around to Snuggerud. Holloway does, and then Holloway's alone behind the net. I don't know where San Jose went. They went to chase after Snuggerud. Snuggerud quickly, come back to Holloway, and then kind of a broken play, or definitely a broken play. But Dvorsky in the slot, exactly where you want to see him, getting a great goal there. That's good though. The Blues have scored. You're going to start to see probably a little bit more openness, a little bit more aggressiveness from the San Jose Sharks. This has been a very, very contained, defensive game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a very contained defensive game so far. So, with the Blues scoring now,
yeah, Parayko trying to wrap around there. The Blues have seemed to open it up a little bit now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think the defensive clinic that you've been seeing by San Jose in this game, I think they're going to open up, and I think it may cost them because they open up. But we'll see. Hopefully the Blues stay aggressive and San Jose gets over aggressive. I'll talk about it too at the intermission because I do have a thought on Jordan Kyrou. I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, but I think I've kind of solidified my take just on him so far and what to kind of do in the off season. But we'll talk about that at the intermission.
No, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I got somebody messaging me that I gotta deal with real quick.
I want to focus on the game. I want to focus on the game, and then we'll talk about some stuff like that, or I'll talk about it at the intermission. Blues fans, for who's watching, we talk about it, who has been non-existent. Cam Fowler was kind of non-existent in the first half. You didn't really talk about him all that much, which usually that's pretty good when you don't have to say his name. That means he's just doing what he's doing. Cam Fowler has stepped up a little bit here in the recent stretches of games, of course, but he's been a very serviceable guy on the bottom six for the Blues. I mean, he's just done his part. I think about him more like a Nick Leddy in a sense. He has that veteran experience, but he's not going to go out there and score you a bunch of points or a bunch of goals, but he has the capability of being a serviceable guy back there.
Kelsey says January 29th, Blues 5, Panthers 4. My second Blues game and my dad's first Blues game. Both our second NHL game, but his first was in 50 years ago. I'm going to have to pay attention to it. I don't remember it, Kelsey, but I'm going to go back and look at it. Dvorsky from Holloway and Snoogie. at the 17-19 mark, makes it 1-0 Blues. Shots at this point are 17-15 in favor of the Blues, as the clock ticks down to 0-0.0. And that's the end of 2. That's another good second period. They have definitely flip-flopped that. I need to go grab use the restroom. I will be right back. You got the show for a few minutes.
All right. So where I'm at with Jordan Kyrou, just talking about this. I went over some possible trade, at the trade deadline before. With me, I'm sorry. The way that I'm with Jordan Kyrou is I want him to be on this team. I want him to be here when the Blues are successful. But I'm still in the camp of he could have a change of scenery, and it could do him well for his career, and it could do the Blues well for their future. But I think the only way that I'm getting rid, I think if there's a guy that you could move in the offseason, Jordan Kyrou would possibly be that guy, the candidate for that. But honestly, the only way that I'm moving Kyrou right now is if I'm getting a proven guy back. And by proven guy, my front runner. It would take a lot of finagling. Obviously, the contract that he would want would be a little higher. Obviously, the team is wanting to keep him, and they probably will if they can free up the right amount of space for him. But Dallas and Jason Robertson, if the Blues and the Stars can have a friendly trade, thing together where they can kind of finagle a trade to where the Blues would have to give up possibly, something more in that trade. But the only way that I would be okay.
Are you willing to give up Kyrou for Robinson? Kyrou in a first round draft pick, or Kyrou in a first and a second, or Kyrou in let's say this. Let's say they asked for Kyrou Carbonell in a first. Are you willing to do that? Well,
first of all, no, I'm not giving up Justin Carbonell. Justin Carbonell is your guy coming in a piece. That's a guy that you want to pan out, but you're getting – obviously you're going to have to finagle it to where it is a trade that is of equal value for Dallas. Dallas is going to ask you for something. Depends on what that ask is, and obviously it's an individual trade, so it would be a lot harder to pull off. But the way I'm thinking about it is you get Jordan Kyrou in a change of scenery. He goes to Dallas. He's a good player. Maybe he has a great career in Dallas. And then the Blues turn around and get another winger in return and Jason Robertson. And again, Dallas.
You would put Mayu in Dallas?
No. Where did I say that?
You said Mayu. And I was like, huh?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it sounded like you said, first you said Kyrou, and then it sounded like you said Mayu.
No. Kyrou, you'd put Kyrou in Dallas, and then you would somehow get Robertson in the deal, but obviously you'd have to sweeten the pot a little bit depending on what they'd ask for. And it all depends on what they would ask for. But Dallas is going to try to sign Robertson. But the way that I think about it is if you can pull off a thing and you can pull off a friendly deal where it's a superstar coming for a superstar, I feel like that's not too unlikely of a possibility because that's the only way that I'm really trading Kyrou. The only way I'm trading Kyrou is if I'm getting an NHL-ready guy right now. That's the only way I'm doing it. You could talk about the prospect of maybe, Svechnikov, maybe from Carolina.
Yeah, I don't think that they're ready to, as much as I do feel that Kyrou needs a change of scenery, I don't think they're ready to cut bait with him yet. I really don't. And I think that they I just don't think that Jason McMillan said Thomas had only 9 goals his rookie season, and Dvorsky just got his 11th. The future is bright for the Blues. It's really bright for the Blues. They've drafted well. They've drafted very well. And I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that want the better draft pick, and I get that. I get that, but I'm not completely there. Off topic, do you go trout fishing? Yes, I do. I have fly fishing gear. Chris Shockey can tell you that. I do have fly fishing gear. And I went trout fisting before I came to St. Louis, Teresa. Justin saw the pictures of me up in Montana, right? I think you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I enjoy most types of freshwater fishing. Right? I can drown a worm or I can throw a lure. I enjoy most types. Blues seem very confident in next man up type philosophy. That's gonna, for a good team, that's gonna be there no matter what. Right? That's gonna be there no matter what.
Well, and again, I want to set this precedent too that the Blues may not get the highest draft pick that everybody wants. Like I said, I'm not in the tank wagon. I'm in the Blues play competitive until the end of the year, whether they make it or not. But again, if they don't make the playoffs, at least they fought hard, and it builds their culture a little bit. Yeah, obviously it would build it a little more if you got some playoff time for some of the youngsters.
Yeah.
But if you're winning games at the end of the season, it should give you, because the way I view it is it's kind of a gray area in a sense. Like the Blues may not get the thing that they want. They play good hockey. They just barely missed the playoffs. The gray area there is the Blues don't make the playoffs. They don't go in and they don't lose in the first round. They end the season. Say they end the season on a win. They end the season on a high note, not coming in and losing. Like you go back to the Winnipeg series. The Blues were the better team in the Winnipeg series. They should have beat Winnipeg. They didn't. They lost in heartbreaking fashion. It kind of hurt them in a sense. If they miss the playoffs, but they play good hockey, the culture is only going to build, and it's going to be positive coming into next year.
Actually, Teresa, you're right on an answer. And there's actually a couple places near you. One is Bush Memorial Wildlife out in St. Peter's, or in that area. They have a couple of trout lakes there. And then for river trout, they have the Merrimack Springs Park. Now, at Merrimack Springs, you have to have a trout tag. And also, I forget the name of it. I'd have to look it up. There is a fly fishing shop in West County that I go to, then I got most of my stuff from, that is really good, and they treat people well. So that would be my suggestions for trout fishing in and around Missouri. There are some good trout rivers, especially the Merrimack Springs Park. There you go. I don't know about Illinois. Illinois probably have some, but I'm not completely sure. I guested on the Blues Fan Forum the other day. They made me pick win-loss of the final 13 games. What was your thing? What was your win-loss for the final 13 games? Kelsey? We're going to have to bring her on our show. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have her on there.
Picking 8 wins. Ooh, I think that's high. I would be happy with 8 wins out of 13. But I'm going to say 6. I'm going to say at the point they get eliminated, they just fall off. And the point they get eliminated is coming up because there's already been, 2 teams eliminated from the playoff. Right? So, yeah, we'll have to bring you on our show one day, Kelsey. When we do a non-game day show, we'll have to bring you on for a talk show. Maybe we'll do an off-season show with you. Right? Do one of ours, like closer to the draft. We'll do a show with you and and see what you think about, how the Blues should set up for the year. That might be something we can do.
So,
and we have your podcast on Sunday, right? I got to watch that show again to remind myself.
So just a little news. Out of town scoreboard. The Pittsburgh Penguins defeated the Senators in a shootout 4-3. The Flyers beat the Blackhawks 5-1. The Seattle Kraken beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in overtime 4-3. Dallas loses to the Islanders 2-1. That's a big game for the Islanders. 3-2. The Wild beat the Florida Panthers. The Canadians 2-1 over the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets still in a play. I don't know if they're in a playoff spot. I think they are, but they're definitely in a dog race for sure.
Right now, only 2 teams have qualified for the playoffs, and if I remember right, it's the Avalanche and the Stars.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that they're in a playoff spot.
I think they're on the outside looking in.
The Devils and Predators are tied 2-2. Come on, Devils! We need the Devils to win that. Obviously, Blues up 1-0. The Avalanche up 2-1 on the Jets. The Flames and Ducks have just ended the first, but 0-0 game. The Capitals are losing to the Utah Mammoth 3-1 at the end of one. The Edmonton Oilers, Vegas Golden Knights kind of just got underway, so they're tied 0-0. And the late matchup is the Vancouver Canucks versus the LA Kings, and that will be at 9 Central Standard Time.
So right now, the Predators are sitting at 77 points. I don't know. Did the Predators play today?
Yeah, like I just said, they're tied with the Devils. That's why I said
so they'll
the
be, depending on what happens today, let's say they lose today, just for the sake of argument, they'll have 10 games left. So 97 points is the most that they can get, right? Well, that's the most that they can get. So for the Blues, once they can no longer reach 97 points, they would be out of it. They're at 69 now. So that's 79, 89. Actually, I think they're really close to being eliminated as it is. I really do. I think they're within, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. The Blues have 12 games left, counting today. That would be 24 points, add 24 to 69. Make sure I get this math right. 24 to 69 is 93 points. So at a point when they can no longer, I don't know, maybe they're not eliminated yet. They could still
again, it all comes down to the reason the Blues are not out. It's not an eye thing. Obviously, to the eye, the Blues are out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
mathematically, they're still away.
Yeah, to the math, see, because we talk about this. The problem is the Predators and the LA Kings have to win the games. If they lose the games and the Blues win, they're not going to be out of it. So the LA Kings, it all comes down to them winning and losing. If they can continue to win, the Blues are going to be out of it because the Blues just won't be able to catch up. But if they keep losing, or if they lose and the Blues win, then anything's possible.
Yep. Well, the Blues have a game in hand on everybody but the Sharks. So that's
well. Again, though, it for the Sharks, it's not going to matter because if the Blues continue to beat the Sharks, they're just taking away their points. So it doesn't matter in the end with San Jose, at least. Well, we'll see. Like I said, I'm not giving up hope until the season's over. And like I said, the gray area is even if they don't make the playoffs, I want them to end the season on a high note and have a positive culture going into next season.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm on the same one. Jason says, why does the West dominate every year? It seems they don't. This year, they're not dominating. This year, they got the two teams at the top, but they also got a lot of teams at the bottom, right? I mean, the Rangers are at the bottom of the East at 65 points. There's two teams that have, Blackhawks have 67, Flames have 67, Blues have 69, San Jose has 70. You look at the Rangers are right now, the Islanders have the wild card spot, the wild at 87 points, right? They would be leading at 87 points. The Islanders would be leading the West, the Pacific, right? They'd be leading the Pacific, and they'd definitely be in a wild card spot, right? If they were in the Central, they'd be in a wild card spot. So this year, the East is stronger than the West, especially at the top, right? The bottom is more us. 4 teams that are out of the playoffs in the East would be in the playoffs in the West. The Caps, the Flyers, the Red Wings, and the Senators. And the Blue Jackets are in third, a point behind the Penguins, and second in the Metro. So you had asked about that earlier. There is search. Tell your mom to search on Facebook Midwest Best Fishing. He does some trout fishing. He does a lot of panfish, which is crappie and bluegill, and some trout fishing around Missouri in the St. Louis area. That might give some hints to where to do some trout fishing. I told you, next year when I come home, if you're up for it, and we can figure out the best way to do it with your eyesight, I would love to take you down to the Ozarks and go fishing for a day or two. Right? Just got to figure out. I got to figure out the best way to do it. What we may do is maybe one day we'll go talk to Shockman, and we'll talk to Shockman and see about if he's okay with you and me coming up there and him helping us figure out the best way for you to do some field fishing, right? And how to cast so you're not casting in the weeds or to where you're getting hung up. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I got you.
What do you think about that, Shockman? Can we figure something out, a way to help Justin out, so we could probably do something like that? Would you be okay with us coming up there one day, or one weekend? Because I know he works. Actually, during the summer he might be off. You're off during the summer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to figure something out. I'm sure. I'm putting words in Shockman's mouth, but I'm sure crappie and bluegill are good eating if someone knows what they're doing. I'll tell you what, Shocky makes some good crappie and catfish. He fries up some good stuff. He's got a good batter there, so I've enjoyed it. Well, here we go. Celebrini, 1302 on ice, 1 shot, 2 attempts, -1 rating. Probably got a few other things in there. Just Kelsey's asking if you're a teacher. You're I don't know if teacher's the right word, but a special ed advocate. Is that the right way to say it?
I'm a special needs paraprofessional.
Okay.
So technically, teacher's assistant. Technically, we don't have obviously the teaching degree that teachers have, but technically, paras they're teachers' aides, but they're technically just teachers. That's how I view them, at least.
Yeah. Shocky says, we have to get you to stop casting into the trees first. Well, I'll stop casting into the trees, Shockman, when you stop casting into the trees. See, you know what, Justin, and I'm going to say this, and this is what makes this show so is the people that turn in every day. like Shockey, like Jason, like Kelsey, like Ryan Green, you know, the friends that have made this really, really a good place to go. There's no such thing, Kelsey, as a place with lush trees. Especially crappie fishing. That's where you need to go. Dustin, your mom says you can also substitute teach. Well,
I have a sub certificate as well. So, but yeah, no, I just there's most people don't realize that, like, I call paras a thankless job. Paras are thankless jobs. When you work with a good supporting cast of good teachers, when you have teachers that like appreciate and understand that, like, especially teachers that have been paras before, that teachers aides, they understand that it is kind of a thankless job. So if you have, a supporting cast around you, a lot of things wouldn't be possible without paras. And I feel like it gets lost in translation with a lot of people who view teaching as, oh, why would you do that? Kind of thing.
Very few golf courses that I've gone to that have been good fishing. And I have fished a couple of golf courses. My wife is a speed high school student, another thankless job. Our teacher, I don't know what speed is, SPED. Is that something well, you're in California, so my daughter's a California teacher.
It's SPED. She means SPED, special education.
Oh, okay.
SPED, yeah. Yeah, it is a hard job. Special education teachers, I talk about it all the time. They don't get, it's a different topic for a different day. They don't get paid enough. It's a valuable job. And they definitely don't get paid enough. Teachers do not get paid enough for what they have to deal with.
Yeah. Why did I lose 200 jigs and not catch any crappie? Because you wasn't far enough into the brush. You got to lose 400 jigs. There's one lake that Chris took me to where someone had taken a couple of Christmas trees and sunk them down, and we lost a couple of jigs in there. $17:30 to go. Shot 17-16 in favor of the Blues. Right now, San Jose has the puck in the Blue zone, and the Blues are leading 1-0. Man, that puck's got to look like the size of a frisbee to Hofer right now.
That save.
I mean,
go ahead, bud.
/tickets.
I mean, again, like, he's been very good when he's needed to be. Again, the Blues are doing a good job of keeping San Jose to the outside. San Jose's not generating a lot of shots. They're getting the shots. Like that one right there, that's not that difficult for Holford to glove down. I mean, that was pretty routine for him. I think it was going wide, too.
Everything what he's doing looks effortless. I mean, there's been really – they've only had maybe one or two quality chances. Everything has been – it's like he's just really seeing the puck big and good. Right? Like he's got a zone on it. And I'll tell you another thing. What have I not said about Hofer this game? I have not said this one time yet, and knock on wood, about Hofer this game.
It's about him playing the puck.
Yeah, I have. He's actually done very well tonight playing the puck. He hasn't. Every time he's gone back there, he's had good control of it. He hasn't.
Granted, he hasn't.
He hasn't looked like he was.
Granted, he hasn't.
deer in the
granted, he
headlights,
hasn't
you know?
had to, though. Granted, he hasn't had to. San Jose hasn't really played the puck down low very much, and they haven't dumped the puck in very much. So, he hasn't really had the opportunity to come out as much in this game.
He said you're not even going to come to the offensive zone because I'm going to see you right at the neutral zone. And that's what makes good D. They always say good defense really stems from the offensive zone, especially the neutral zone.
I don't know what you mean by how much is Holfer's value climbing. I mean, he's not going to be traded, so his value is not climbing at all, really. They're making some noise down there. Ryan Green says it's kind of sad that this may be the end of Bennington's time here as we get closer to the end of the season. Say what you want about not trading Bennington. We don't know until it's training camp. And you're right. It could be the end. To me, it's all going to depend on what happens prior to the draft, right? And the draft. That's where it's going to come down to. Ouch. Well, there that went. Oh, he gets about 45 minutes of a shutout there and gives it up on the 18th shot. It is 1-1.
Almost. Not. I mean, you're expecting to push. Hofer, like you said, he hasn't been overly tested.
Yeah.
But I mean, San Jose gets one.
Yeah.
And again,
Yeah.
They've done good with San Jose being in the zone. This was, off the rush type of play here. This was a good pass over to Lindbergh.
You leave a guy wide open like that. He beats Torpachenko. There's nothing.
Well, I mean, you go back. It happens a lot. You have a good chance on the one end, and they come down and score at the other.
Yeah.
The Blues had a good chance there, and then they didn't score, and then San Jose comes down and puts the tying goal in. So 14 minutes left. Let's see what the Blues do, because the Blues were kind of pushing back a little bit. San Jose was pushing, and the Blues kind of pushed back a little bit. So hopefully they don't play passive hockey here.
Oh, that was close. Yeah, we haven't. Letty's name hasn't been called much tonight.
$167 minutes of playoff or shutout time.
How could I forget you, Ryan? Or did I forget you? If I did, I apologize. I thought I did say Ryan. Didn't I say Ryan when I was talking about friends of the show?
He definitely said Ryan. He said your name.
I wonder if I'm not sure if he's being facetious here or not, but I was pretty sure I said his name.
Play the rest of the second period.
You know, can't forget Matlow. You know, Matlow's there. You got who's the other guy that's always messaging on me? Aaron Nels, you know, can't forget him. Right? You can't forget any of these guys. They all make it what it is, you know. Okay, he says, no, you said my name. I'm just thanking you for the mention. You know, I joke with you all the time, Ryan, you know, the he who should not be named. But I love you, dude. You're a great guy. You've been a great fan. And we love you all the time, man. Well, Kelsey, you're new here. You and even Justin wasn't here. I got trolled one time really, really bad. And I mean really bad, to the point where it almost shut the show down. Right? I had people coming on saying they were people who they weren't. And just getting completely destroyed. And it really, really hurt things. And it's made me cautious. So yeah, I am suspicious of genuine kindness. Sorry. It was, and ask Shockey was here for it, and a few other people, and they tried to warn me, but again, heat of the moment, you're just going with what happens, and it got really bad. I almost shut the channel down. You can ask Shockey and Jason about that. I think they were here then. It was horrible. Yes, they do. You okay, man? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just repositioned.
That was Slew cutting down nets was a while ago. They're out of the that was a couple weeks ago, bud. They're out of the March Madness. They lost in the first round. Proberg's he lost that one. I was just about to say he's got really good puck control, but then he loses it. Man, they are just all over the puck tonight. The puck battles, they have been winning puck battles all over the place. I have a feeling that's something that I think that's something that Monty's going to talk about is going to be puck battles. I think I'm seeing that right. Good defenses by Lindstein there. Well, you know, Kelsey, for what it's worth, we're really, really, really glad you found our channel too. Right? We're really glad that you were watching the Blues Fan Forum when Justin was on, and they allowed Justin to talk about our show, and you decided to come over and join us. We greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, San Jose's done nothing but cherry pick in this game, in this third period. They're heavily leaving the zone early in this period.
Okay, second round. .948 to go. Still tied 1-1. Shots are 19 apiece. What you're seeing in this game, I think you're going to see a rivalry. You're going to see a 3-team rivalry come up here very shortly. And I think you're going to see a rivalry come up between St. Louis, Chicago, and San Jose, because they're all young teams that are built for the future. And they could all three have very bright futures if they just make some small tweaks here and there. Would you agree with that, Just Man?
Yeah, for sure. Yep, and they just talked about it. What I talked about in the first period in intermission, that Parayko is going to do wonders for Theo Lindstein. They're talking about Parayko being vocal and always talking with Theo and trying to prepare him for situations for his career. So I think Parayko can pay some massive dividends for him.
I'm trying to do something for your mom here real quick. I sent your mom that group I was saying about that might be able to if you check them out, might be able to see where some trout fishing is in Missouri.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
don't know
that's
about
good.
that. Think of all the star power the West has over the East. Pretty crazy. Maybe. Well, the salary cap's made it easier for the young players to come into the league, and it's definitely made it easier for them to I forgot. The salary cap has made it a lot easier for these younger players to grow and become take some pressure off them. It takes pressure off them because they don't sign these huge ass contracts right away and have to live up to them. They've got to earn them, and it does. It helps. The salary cap helps earn them. Broberg and Celebrini to the ice. Good plays. Kelsey says, "I love when I see Celebrini. I think, oh, what a nice kid. I'd babysit him." Well, Broberg got a stick in there, and it kept Celebrini from really getting his stick around that puck. Oh, Finley, what are you doing there? Oh man. Wow, this is getting exciting here.
What a play by Logan Mayu to pick
Yeah.
up the pass there. I understand what Finley's trying to do there, but he wasn't expecting it. I mean, he had space.
Well, the San Jose got something going here. Got a good cycle going on. Can't be chasing the puck. Feels like they are. They've got something going. Three minutes to go, and both teams want the points. Both teams want the regulation win. I mean, it is obvious. Nobody is playing.
No one's playing for overtime here. I like it, but what is it? I mean, it's been a good defensive game. I mean, both teams have done a good job. Like, yeah, the San Jose Sharks had some cycle there, but like, I mean, nothing was to the inside or nothing. I mean, it was all to the outside. You know, you can cycle all you want. If it's to the outside and you're not doing anything with it, then you're just cycling just to cycle. So.
Oh, neighbors! Wow, they are just this is exciting hockey right now. This is exciting on both ends. Everyone, I mean, they're not chasing the puck, but they're staying on the puck.
Ew, I'll tell you what, that Bergeron bat out of the air was as freaking impressive as I've ever seen it. That way that he batted that puck at the blue line in midair, oh, that was sexy.
This is what you want to see. This is exciting hockey. Out of play. Face-off coming in the offensive zone. This is exciting. I'm sorry. You can't watch this and say this isn't exciting hockey. This is what you want. These are two teams that want the extra point, want the regulation win. They're not playing for OT. And that was, that's one of the things when you get late in the game, you worry about that. These are teams that are not playing for OT, and Parayko just missed that.
Man, you must be like fucking 15 seconds ahead of me, dude.
105.
Yeah, I'm still watching the replay. Yeah, Parayko just misses that. But this has been an exciting. I mean, this is what you should expect. These two teams are going to be, they should be competitive around the same window. The difference between the Blues and the Sharks is it's pretty evident. The Sharks have a franchise guy, and like I said, I'm a big Robert Thomas guy. But we got to remember, Robert Thomas was drafted 20th overall. Celebrini's a first overall pick. He's a game changing player. So the San Jose Sharks have the superstar guy, and I do think Robert Thomas is a superstar. But you get what I mean, franchise player.
Yeah, well, remember you got Dvorsky 10th overall.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Dvorsky could turn out to be something spectacular, but again, I think my best comparison is Ryan O'Reilly, and him being a two-way guy is okay. But as for your offensive production, Robert Thomas, for me, offensively, in the way that Robert Thomas creates offense for his team and himself, just in his playmaking ability alone, I don't think Dvorsky's going to live up to what Robert Thomas is when it comes to creating offense like Robert Thomas does.
I think Snugard or Carbonell could live up to that.
Well, yeah. Well, you want those guys. You want those guys to shoot. Those guys are shooters. Dvorsky, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think that. That's why I said trading Robert Thomas isn't a good move because of that. Because if you do, then Dvorsky, he's going to be a good player, but I don't think he's going to create the offense that Robert Thomas creates.
Give San Jose credit; they salvaged a point out of this game. You know, they were behind, you know, for a good portion of it, and they were not the better team. And at least in my eyes, they weren't the better team, and they salvaged a point out of it. And Hofer's still playing good. He loses his shutout streak, but hell, you know, 160 something minutes of it, that's pretty damn good. So I'll take it.
So the main question is will I see this, the ending of this game on the same time as you, or will you be 20 seconds ahead of me?
Say again, Justin? I was looking at something else. I'm sorry.
I said now the real question is if am I going to see this game around the same time you see it, or are you going to be like 20 seconds ahead of me?
I watch mine on ESPN Plus. I don't know how I get so far ahead. I've actually been I've been ahead even though I'm behind because I'm looking at this. Actually, no, I am caught up. So, but I've been behind a little bit today.
Yeah, you have been, but that's the thing. You have been behind, and usually you're only a couple seconds behind me, like 3 seconds maybe at best. When you go back to you're doing your live and you resetting it, you go like 15, 20 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah, I don't know how it does that.
I don't know.
He's saying Hefner saying Disney Plus is like 11 seconds ahead of me. So,
man, Jack Finley in overtime to start this off against
Broberg and Holloway, the youngsters.
No, Finley was on the ice, right? Oh, that's right. You're like 20 seconds ahead of me. Snuggerud, Broberg. Now I see it. You had Finley on, though, for that. I guess they put him on there because he's been winning faceoffs. I don't know what his faceoff rating is this game, but it must be pretty good to have him out there on the draw.
Who's?
Finley, because they started the period with Finley on the dot. So I would assume that Finley's having a good night in the dot. Because why would you start Finley? And
15 for 18. 83%.
Yeah, that's why you started him in overtime, so he could get the faceoff win. The faceoff wins 34-23 in favor of the Blues.
Yeah.
71% of the offensive zone on faceoffs, and he wins that one. Here's Dvorsky hitting the trailer, and it's off.
You gotta be careful there.
Kyrie's got a battle to keep it from Lindbergh, and he does. He drops it off.
Come on, Jordan Kyrou, get us a goal, man. Need a Jordan Kyrou goal. Hell, give it to Joel Hofer. He'll put it in the net.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Blues. I'm shocked to see how poor that their 3-on-3 record is. Considering I don't think that they're a bad 3-on-3 team. I think they're honestly one of the best at it. You know, when I watch them.
I just want to see everyone stop. Oh wow, trip and no call.
What else is new?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, overtime, it's really hard to get a penalty called. If there's even a doubt in their mind that it was a penalty.
Yeah, that was. That should have been called though.
Robert gave it up to Celebrini.
That should have been called though.
Okay, I give Hofer credit there. Nice play.
You're saying. Again, you're saying something, and I'm so far behind you. Nice save.
Yeah, he tried to get a little speeder to there to Holloway and didn't.
I'll tell you what though, Broberg, he can skate, man. Broberg, he can absolutely turn on the burners. Oh, what a pass! That would have been a great pass if he hit it in stride.
Holloway's going to go to the far side with it. Holloway makes the quick change.
Kyrou lost the puck there.
And again, this is why I'm saying, man, they're doing good. They're controlling the pretty much.
Kyrou missed the pass. Oh, that sucked. That should have been game right there.
Oh yeah.
Wow, this is two teams trying to get that point. Absolutely trying to get that point. Oh! Oh! Wow. What a way to save that. Oh, God, good play. Great.
And it goes to show you about how these games go, different ebbs and flows. The first two periods, very defensive, very, very neutral for both teams. Third period and overtime has been exciting.
That has been very, very exciting hockey. And these are two teams that aren't tanking. That is there. Two teams that are not tanking.
Well, and again, I know that you're not really on my side here with this, but again, that's another reason why you guys should ask yourself why teams don't tank about the draft. I know you're not in the camp with me about how you feel about the draft, but you got to ask yourself why these teams don't tank. Maybe they know something that we don't.
I don't think these teams think about the draft at all. I think that these guys, for the most part, they are professional athletes who want to go out there and give their all every time.
Well, yeah, and I think that too, but
it's been a lot better after the break.
But it goes, well, like I said, it goes back to what I've been saying about the draft and how I think it's possibly a little fishy. You got to ask yourself on why teams don't go out there and tank. Because
they're doing the draft live this year. They're doing the lottery live.
That's fine. That's fine. You can do it live, but it still doesn't change the fact that just because I watch it on television doesn't mean that they don't have like some weighted ball in the tumbler. That doesn't prove anything. Just because they're doing it live doesn't mean that they have they don't have some ball that gives them a little bit of an edge. Oh wow, Kyrou gets drilled.
Uh-oh. Wow, Broberg.
Tony man, Broberg, he's a stud.
Wow.
God, Broberg is so.
Overtime.
I again, you're 15 seconds ahead of me, dude.
Wow.
Man, what a out of all the shots, man, what a shot by what a play by Holloway. He had nothing. He had nothing. Nedeljkovic is absolutely stunned after this.
Yeah.
All right, well, St. Louis faithful, we can't talk about the Blues and Cardinals. The Cardinals won, so we expected the Blues to lose, and the Blues didn't lose. So
yeah.
I know the whole running gag with the Cardinals won, so the Blues are going to lose. So
yeah. I mean, tonight, the third period, the entire third period and the entire overtime was absolutely entertaining hockey, right? These were two teams that were trying to get those points, right? These are teams that feel like they are playoff teams, and they were trying to get the point. A missed shot leads to just an absolute play. Forehand, backhand, back at a net.
Does he go top shelf? I don't know if he goes. I think he might go top shelf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Far down.
I mean,
he goes.
Yeah,
far
the way that he hits the shot. I mean, he has little room. You don't expect him to score the shot. I mean, Nedeljkovic is absolutely stunned. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
He had no chance.
This is why I enjoy 3-on-3 hockey, because this was entertaining. There was a little bit of back and forth. Well, who are your 3 stars? I kind of know who the 3 stars are going to be. To me, it's going to be it's going to be easy. Let's sit on defense, so I don't know. No, Broberg. No. Mayu.
Again, I'm not going to guess because, like I said, you've probably already seen all 3 of them, and before I've seen one. So,
second star is Hoffer.
Yeah, and the first star will be Holloway.
You know who the first star is going to be?
Yeah, it'll be Holloway. Logan Mailloux and Broberg, fantastic game on defense. Another good game for them. Hofer, good again. Loses his shutout, but God, has he been incredible to watch. He's made everything look so seamless in there.
Yep. Let's hear Dylan Holloway talk to Andy Strickland.
All right, Dylan, take a deep breath. What a finish. You guys are just finding all different ways to win right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's fun playing this way. Everybody's playing for each other, and I think we've been playing really well lately.
All right, the last final seconds. You got a big puck battle win from Jordan Carruth, the back check from Philip Broberg. That leads to give you an opportunity. What do you see in the final seconds?
Yeah, I mean, so many great efforts by everybody. I kind of lost my guy in the slot, but Hope came up big, and then I stretched, and Bro made a hell of a play, and just lucky enough for that one to go in.
No Robert Thomas in this one. Dalibor Dvorsky, he centers your line. You guys have had such great chemistry. You've been on fire as of late. How did the young one fill in and do his part here in this one?
Yeah, I thought he did great. Devo's a heck of a player. I think he's grown a lot this year, and obviously we missed Palmer, but Devo stepped up in a big way, so that was huge.
I said you guys had to find lots of different ways to win. How good is this team feeling right now? What's pushing you guys to continue to put this streak together?
Yeah, it's feeling good. Good vibes in the room, that's for sure. We're just playing for each other. That's all we can do at this point, and I'm proud of the guys, and I'm proud of the way we're playing.
Last thing for you, Dylan, your goaltender, he's been unbelievable. Both of them have, but specifically Joel Hofer. How much confidence is he giving this hockey club right now?
Yeah, tons. I mean, all the credit to Hof. He keeps us in a lot of games. So does Benner. We got, I think, the best goalie duo in the league. So they're stepping up for us every night, and it's fun to watch.
Another great atmosphere at the Enterprise Center tonight. Congrats on the win, Dylan.
Yeah, thanks. Phenomenal. Thanks, guys.
Actually, absolutely phenomenal. These guys, they're playing for each other. And this is something that you haven't heard for a long time, that they are playing for each other. And these guys are really working hard to do the things they need to do. I love it. It's good, solid hockey. And if you don't like 3-on-3 overtime, watch that and tell me you don't like 3-on-3 overtime, because that was good 3-on-3 overtime.
It's good 3-on-3 overtime, but it still doesn't change the fact that 3-on-3 needs to change. One good 3-on-3 game doesn't equate to a 3-on-3 not needing to change. 3-on-3 needs to change.
The only thing they need to change is the bringing the puck back. That you can only bring it back to the neutral zone, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, and that's fine.
Change.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. I said, yeah, that's fine. We just like I said, that was exciting. You want to see those types of overtime games, but again, like I said, just because it was exciting doesn't mean that the whole 3-on-3 hasn't been an issue. You rarely get games like that are exciting like that 3-on-3.
Jace, just lose the shootout. I don't mind the shootout as long as you have a good OT. If you have a good OT, if this would have gone to a shootout, I'd been absolutely fine with it. I really would, because it was a good OT. It wasn't an OT where one team held the puck for the 5 minutes and just waited. Right?
Yeah, no, but that's what I like. That is exciting to see hockey like that, because you have two teams that are hungry, that want the extra point, and it showed tonight.
Yeah.
Generally, you see, like you said, you see the going out and waiting and getting people to get tired, and then catching people's being tired. Like, they didn't do that. They were full energy the whole time.
Yeah.
Philip Broberg came up huge in overtime. He came up huge in the third period. Came up huge in overtime. I mean, it is just spectacular. And again, I continue to say, I don't understand how the Edmonton Oilers let both Holloway and Broberg go. I can't fathom it. They chose.
Well, I'm glad they did.
I'm glad they did too. But they chose. I cannot believe that they went out and chose. Keeping Corey Perry, keeping Jeff Skinner. I can't believe that they went out and kept all these old guys and did not play for their future.
Win now mentality, and it looks like it's cost them. So, what a game, man. 3 stars, as we talked about, were Mayu. He really didn't have. He wasn't on the score sheet, but he was all over tonight. So I got no problem with Mayu being the 3rd star. Hoffer the 2nd. Hoffer was 24 for 25. Just the one goal he gave up, nothing he could do about it. Really solid play all the way through. Faced 2 shots in the OT. It felt like more than that, but he faced official 2 shots in the OT. He faced 9 in the first, 6 in the second, and 8 in the third. He was 7 for 8 in the third, and 2 in the OT for 25. Askarov starts this game, unfortunately gets injured, and comes out in the second. 9 minutes and 2 seconds into the second. Nikojevic, or however you say it, plays the final 35-51. Makes 5 saves in the first, 4 saves in the third, and then 1 save in the second, in the OT, but gives up that final goal. He was 10 for 12. 10 for 12. Askarov was perfect, 11 for 11. Overall, the goals that we got, first one came from Dvorsky at 17-19 of the second, from Holloway and Snugarud, getting his 22nd assist of the year. Holloway with his 18th, Dvorsky with his 11th goal. Then Weinberg just after the 5-minute mark of the third, gets his 14th of the year for San Jose from Eklund and Sherwood. And then in a very, very exciting OT with 3 seconds remaining, Dylan Holloway gets his 16th of the year, and Philip Broberg gets his 22nd assist. The Blues win the game 2-1 and pick up a point on the San Jose Sharks. So I think they are now tied with them, but have a game in hand, so they should be ahead of the Sharks. I could be wrong, but
no, they're not ahead of them, but I mean, they're tied with them still. But yeah, no, it was a good game. Both teams won at that point. I did want to bring something up. I'm not gonna go crazy in depth with it, and I'm not gonna give it much attention. But Tad, I don't have, I appreciate you, commenting and being in the show. We didn't, we came in here earlier. You kind of announced your exit from the show watching because I'm here, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to make any light to it. But me and Guy have covered what we would change on 3-on-3 overtime. So I'm not going to come at you in any way, but just in a respectful manner. Don't come at me. If you don't like me, then fine, but don't come at me because you're angry about an opinion I had and it didn't match your opinion.
Yeah.
You have your opinion, I have mine. Don't come at me and don't come in the comment section and make snarky comments. We've covered the 3-on-3 overtime stuff on numerous occasions on what we would change. So if you want to go watch that, go watch it. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Kelsey says, I don't have the technical knowledge to know why, but the vibes are clear. I'm not sure what you were getting. Oh, it says it feels gritty start to finish after the Olympic break and the trade deadline. Second periods were anemic before that. I'll tell you what to me, it was straight up taking away some of the old defensive mentality and having younger guys with an offensive mentality. Because that's what you're seeing. And it is what it is. And you know what? I ask everyone to be civil. If you don't like somebody, if you don't like me, if you don't like Justin, if you don't like our opinions, you're more than fair. You can say that, but say it in a respectful manner. That's all we ask. I want everyone to enjoy being on the show. I want everyone to have fun on the show. That is how I feel about it, right? I am friends with everyone. I am not taking sides, and I have said that on numerous occasions. Is that why I said it was fun playing this way, Guy Bensing? I think so. I think the fact that the defensive mentality is gone. Go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry. No.
I agree with you on that too. But well, first of all, they're just winning. Any team, any player is going to have a resurgence of energy when they're winning. So obviously they like that type of play. Obviously they're going to come out. I like the interviews. I like hearing the interviews with Andy Strickland. But again, like I said, it's kind of a mixed bag because though when they ask the questions, a lot of the questions are very softball questions. Like about the goalies. Like they always bring up the goalies. Like, do you really, like, in all honest opinion, do you really expect a player on your team to go out there and say, oh, well, yeah, this one goalie's been good, it's been his net, and the other one has been just okay? Like, do you expect a player to say that? No, they're not going to say that.
Those interviews are for the people in the building.
Oh, absolutely.
So I know Andy, and you've met me with Andy. You've seen me with Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the questions he's told to ask.
Oh, I know. I completely understand. I know that these guys are definitely, like you said, media trained. They're media trained to, not, kind of ask the softball questions, not really dig into the really hard truth. But like, you're not going to get that. Like, these players are not going to sit there and trash on their own teammates. Yeah. Unless something serious was, happening.
Not in that situation. Not in that situation.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, no, I'm with you on this one. I think that that's exactly why. I'm still not 100% with you with the whole defensive mindset thing. They're still playing defensive. Like they're trying to be offensive. And the offense hasn't been there, but they're still kind of in a defensive mindset because they have not been letting in many pucks, many goals.
Well, here's the thing. They haven't been letting many pucks, but they also haven't been letting up as many shots, and they've been taking better shots. So they've spent more time in the offensive zone than they used to. Mm-hmm. And that's that offensive mindset instead of coming in, taking a shot, and then rolling back out. That's what they were doing before. Now they're coming in. We're seeing cycles. We haven't seen cycles most of the year. right? Most of the year we haven't seen a cycle. We might seen one cycle a game. Now we're seeing 2 or 3, maybe even 4 cycles a game. So it has now become part of the mindset to come in the zone to get a cycle set up, to get the puck deep and get a cycle set up where we weren't seeing that before. And we're also seeing a resurgence. You look out there, and how many older players do you see? You don't. It's the younger guys, and these younger guys are playing much more wide open. They're playing with no breaks. They're playing in fourth gear, in fifth gear, and they're enjoying it. And if they make a mistake, they're not worried about getting crucified for it. And I think that's what was happening before, is they were absolutely worried about getting crucified for it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, I think, like I said, they're playing good hockey. Like I said, I think the culture's it's changing. It's obviously the younger guys are coming in. It's going to be a younger team next year, especially. They're just getting younger, so hopefully this culture, like I said, we're seeing a different era. It's, we're ending this is a permanent end. Once Shen and all that got dished at the deadline, it's pretty much a solidification of a permanent regime and culture change, because the Ryan O'Reilly, Braden Shin, eras, it's done. That era has come to an end. The chapter is closed, and the new chapter is opening, and it's Snuggerud, Dvorsky, it's Thomas, it's Kyrou. It's their team now. Broberg, Holloway. It is their team now. It's it's not O'Reilly's, it's not Shin's anymore, it's not Falk's. Parayko's still on this team. Obviously, you're not going to gut everything, but obviously, it's a new era. I think that's pretty safe to say.
Are we streaming Saturday for the Leafs game? We plan on it. I plan on it. Right? Something could happen where I can't, but right now, yes, I plan on being on for that game. Justin?
Yeah. I should be available. Toronto's always a should be a fun matchup, just because obviously they're in a rough spot right now. Blues have had a tougher season, but they picked it up as of late. But it's always a fun matchup to see Blues take on Toronto. Yeah.
Well, guys, what a fun show. We're just at the 3.5 hour mark, which is kind of where I'd like to be. Any last words, Justin, before we end the show the way we end the show?
I just wanted to say I know that they showed the standings a couple times. The Nashville Predators did end up losing 4-2 in regulation, so they did not gain any points on us tonight. There's still a possibility that LA could gain some points tonight, depending on their result, but they currently are up 2-0 on the Vancouver Canucks, and I expect them to beat the Vancouver Canucks. They're the worst team in the league, so at least statistic wise, of course. So hopefully the Blues can come in and beat Toronto, and I fully expect Jordan Binnington to be in net against Toronto.
I do too, and I can't look for it. We could possibly be on tomorrow. We'll see what goes on. If something happens, or if I feel like getting on a show, I may. If Justin's not doing anything, he'll join me, but we'll see. Otherwise, you'll see us on Saturday as the Toronto Maple Leafs come into town for is that the second game? Yeah, no, the third game of a 3-game homestand before the Blues go out west to take on the Sharks, the Kings, and the Ducks. I think I got that right. I'm not 100% sure. This is Guy and Justin saying thank you so much for watching the BlueNote Fan Report. And I got to ask you this, Justin. How do we end the show?
I think we got to ask where the girls. Where are they at?
The girls?
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Now I just wonder if you're ready for the question. Are all you, my fans, the fans of the BlueNote Fan Report, are you ready for the question? Justin, are you ready for the question?
I'm ready for the question.
Who's late for dinner?
Where are the boys? Where are they at?
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for my co-host, Justin Eagle Eye Scott. We are the BlueNote Fan Report, coming to you live during game day and with a talk show telling you how we feel and listening to your comments, your opinions, and your thoughts about the NHL and the St. Louis Blues. You gotta know that I am bleeding blue with you.
And as always, let's go Blues.
And we will see you all on the next BlueNote Fan Report. Aloha!